good morning, good morning. If you're new here, make sure that you subscribe, click that notification bell. Everyone like the video. And Jacqueline, thank you for that super chat. Wow, super chat before the show even began. So thank you. Everyone, please thank Jacqueline for that.
Having problems refilling a prescription or feel that you're being mischarged for something, you can contact us and we will step in. Even if you're at the hospital and you feel like you're being neglected, we'll be there for you at a touch of a button, whether it's to call the nurse's station or assist in any other way.
So if someone's in the hospital, they feel they're not...
Oh man, lots going on. It's really hard to believe how much news there is.
Call you and you'll contact the hospital for them?
Absolutely. We act as your family. We'll step up, we'll call the nurse's station and ask for some assistance. If we can't get anything done there, we'll go to the higher levels.
Now, this is a service that you're offering. Now, they do not have to be an existing client of I Will Advisors to take advantage of this, right?
Oh, of
I'm
course.
almost not sure what topic to start on.
We can assist in any way.
I know where I'm going to
We
go.
don't need to be your insurance agent. We're just here to help you with your medical needs.
This is an incredible opportunity for those of you who are Medicare.
I know where I'm going to go.
And I Will Advocates will help you with your prescriptions. You'll set up doctor's appointments for them, including the primary care physician and specialist, right?
Of course. We'll assist in anything helping you find new doctors.
They'll help you with your medical billing. They'll help you with your insurance.
Does it seem
billing.
like
If you feel
Friday?
You've been billed wrong by your doctor.
We're going to be here, of course, tomorrow, Christmas Eve, and all next week, including New Year's Eve live, guys, just so you know. And next month, at the end of the month, we'll be off the radio for a week, for our annual listener cruise. And don't worry, you'll see me. You'll see me here on YouTube as well while I'm on the cruise. Both live streams and videos and things.
Is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group.
Last I heard in Kim Potter, the jury was talking about deadlock. I mean, is there an update I missed?
Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1.
Hey guys, good morning. Yes. It is Thursday, December 23rd. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Yes, indeed. And we're going to be here live with you not just today, but also Christmas Eve. And we will be live all next week as well. And it is a chilly day here in South Florida. I'm wearing pants, not shorts today. And I even brought out my Trump Make America Great Again fleece pullover, which is, I don't get a chance to wear this too much because of the Florida weather. Probably has not been washed since last year. But we got a lot to talk about today. And of course, Christmas has not been canceled. It's not been canceled because Joe Biden has saved Christmas. That's what Jen Psaki says. Listen to this. Jen Psaki, this is... she had to have gone to the Goebbels School of Journalism or something. This is Jen Psaki yesterday. Don't worry, kiddies. Don't worry, Mommy. Don't worry, Grandma. Christmas was saved. That's right. No, not by the Grinch. Well, another kind of Grinch. But by Biden. Listen to Psaki yesterday.
Also, just wanted to note, the president, of course, just met with a number of business leaders and industry leaders about efforts to address bottlenecks in the supply chain. I think you all saw him give remarks on that as well. But as the New York Times said today, Christmas gifts are arriving on time this year. Good news, we've saved Christmas. And that is because Biden recognized this challenge early, acted as an honest broker to bring key stakeholders together, and focused on addressing practical problems across the global supply chain.
Wow. Biden saved Christmas. I thought the liberals hated Christmas. Shouldn't she be saying Biden saved the holiday? But yes, Biden saved Christmas. What a line of crap. When she goes through this and she talks about, it's very interesting, her, this repeat a lie often enough, people will believe it. I want to go through this just a little bit. Some things she says. Let's go through this a little more closely. She said more too. I didn't play the whole thing, but let's start from the beginning and then we can break it down.
Also, just wanted to note the president, of course, just met with a number of business leaders and industry leaders about efforts to address bottlenecks in the supply chain. I think you all saw him give remarks on that as well. But as the New York Times said today, Christmas gifts are arriving on time this year. Good news, we've saved Christmas. And as President Biden recognized this challenge early, acted as an honest broker to bring key stakeholders together, and focused on addressing practical problems across the global supply chain.
Can that be more vague? He brought leaders together and they discussed the bottleneck across the global supply chain. Yeah, but what did they do? What did they do? They talked. They got together and he talked. But did they solve anything? Oh, my goodness.
Here are just a few key points of progress.
Here we go.
The number of containers sitting on the docks at the ports of LA and Long Beach for over 8 days have fallen by nearly 50%.
Okay. They've fallen by nearly 50%. How is that solving anything? How's that solving anything? These people, these business owners, while their containers, I think there's a scam going on here. Not with Psaki, there's always a scam with her. I'm talking about with these ports. These containers are huge, right? They're like a semi-truck trailer, these containers. Every day they sit there, the person's got to pay huge bucks in storage fees. Is there a scam going on at these ports to rack up a bunch of storage fees from people? So they're still there for 8 days or more. Some of them aren't. I think there's a storage fee scam going on. What do you guys think about that? Is that crazy? I think it is. There's all kinds of scams. That's what businesses do. And the people that are paying the storage fees, that's their profits are going right out the window. People think that business profits are huge. Many businesses, their profits are in peanuts. Let's go back, see what else. Listen to her propaganda here.
And focused on addressing practical problems across the global supply chain. Here are just a few key points of progress. The number of containers sitting on the docks at the ports of LA and Long Beach for over 8 days have fallen by nearly 50%. The average amount of time containers sit on docks has fallen by a week. The price of shipping a container between Asia and the West Coast has fallen by more than 25% since its peak in September. And as the president also referenced, the stocks on shelves is at about 90%, retail stocks on shelves, at about 90% inventory.
90% inventory. Why are they not at 100%?
It was about 91% pre-pandemic, just to give you a sense. So people can go purchase presents even at this point if they haven't done their shopping.
Okay, we know people can go to the stores and purchase things. Notice how they're all into goalpost. These fake politicians who don't know anything other than how to sell their office and profit from their public office, which is illegal. But, they're always about goalposts. You always hear people talking about moving the goalpost. They're saying now people could go to the store and buy things. We were always able to go to the store and buy things. The question is, can you buy what you want? Can the stores put on the shelves what they want? How much more did it cost the retailer to get the items on the shelf than it did before? And why did we not have supply chain issues during the height of the pandemic, except for toilet paper for a bit of time, when the entire globe was shut down? Can you explain that, Jen Psaki? We saved Christmas! Yeah, but liberals, you hate Christmas. We're not even supposed to say Merry Christmas. I tell you, this is scary. And Jen Psaki is a very, very bad person. You know why? And I know every time there's a new administration, the other side always call the press secretary a liar. There's definitely, I'm not talking about Psaki, I'm talking about previous press secretaries, other than the great press secretaries of Donald Trump. Okay? Honest people, Sarah Huckabee, McEnany, great honest people. But other than Trump's press secretaries, with past press secretaries, most of the time, what you have are not lies, but spin. People talk about spin. People spin and stretch things. With Jen Psaki, there's no spinning. It's just outright lying to the American people. And she does it with this smirk and smile in her voice, which really ticks me off. I do not like condescension. Condescending people piss me off more. That is my biggest pet peeve, is condescending with the little smirk and the smile in the voice. And I love the inflection when they tell us that Biden, when she says that Biden saved Christmas,
Also, just wanted to note, the president, of course, just met with a number of business leaders and industry leaders about efforts to address bottlenecks in the supply chain. I think you all saw him give remarks on that as well. But as the New York Times said today, Christmas gifts are arriving on time this year. Good news, we've saved Christmas.
Good news, we saved Christmas. That pep, that fake pep, that condescending lie. Oh my Lord. That's your Democrat, people. This is Baghdad Bob territory. Remember Baghdad Bob? Baghdad Bob, for those that don't remember, Baghdad Bob was the official government spokesperson for Saddam Hussein during Operation Iraqi Freedom, Gulf War II, when George W. Bush was president. And the Iraqi army was being beaten and collapsing, and Baghdad Bob was out there every day telling us that the Americans are on the retreat. And I remember I was watching one of the news channels, I can't remember which one, and the Marines had gotten to Baghdad. They had just gotten to Baghdad. Maybe the day before, I don't know how long, but they recently in Baghdad. Saddam was still on the run. The war was going on too, and the combat was heavy. And Baghdad Bob had a press conference and said that the U.S. forces have been held back from Baghdad and were retreating. And a reporter in that news conference walked out of the Baghdad Bob press conference in Baghdad and bumped into a unit of U.S. Marines. And the reporter went, this was one of the cable news, I can't remember which one, this has got to be on YouTube, and he went up and he says, I'm surprised you guys are here. I was just in a press conference with Saddam Hussein's spokesperson who said that you were not in Baghdad and were on retreat. And one of the Marines says, where was that press conference? Where's the person who told you that? And the reporter said, in that building right there. And they said, well, the Marines are going to pay him a visit right now. And they walked right into the building after Baghdad Bob. It was hilarious. Remember Baghdad Bob? That's Jen Psaki. She's Baghdad Bob. Just looks like Raggedy Ann. A little bit. There you go. Oh my goodness. Yes, he saved Christmas. When's the last time you've heard the liberals support Christmas? It's a funny thing. I get a lot of messages from people. If you're on hold, stand by. I'll take some calls. I get a lot of messages from people in different ways. DMs on social media, emails. A lot of people have my cell phone number and send me text messages. I don't know who the hell most of them are, but I get messages from people on YouTube comments, on all over the place, And it's so funny. A lot of new people, in particular younger people to the program that have found us on YouTube. I'll get one of these a week at least. And I was just reading one of these this morning before I came in. I try to read all the messages. I can't read everything, but I try. And I'm sorry I can't respond to everything. If I responded, that's all I would be doing. I do respond to messages, but I can't respond to them all. But I get this message at least once a week, and I was reading one like this morning, and they said, you really, your show's too long. 3 hours is too long. You really should summarize everything, and as many other YouTubers do, in 10 to 12 minutes. 10 to 12 minutes. For those of you that are new to this program, that are watching us on YouTube, this is a 3-hour-long live radio show. We're on a whole bunch of radio stations, AM and FM here in South Florida. And it's a live call-in show, okay? We're not some guy in a bedroom in his apartment that has it all made up to look like a fancy set with a fake brick wall and shelves behind him or something. We're the real deal here. And I get those messages quite often. It kind of cracks me up. But you know what it goes to? The attention span of the American people today is not what it used to be. All right, let's take some calls, though, before I take the first break. What the heck? 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. Usually when I take calls this early in the show, it's a mistake. But since we're celebrating Joe Biden's saving of Christmas, let's get wild here. Let's get a little crazy and unpredictable. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning. How you doing?
All right. What's your name?
I'm Maria from Florida.
Oh, hey, Maria. How you doing?
Emily? Fine. Yeah, you was talking about the lady, the press secretary. I can't even mention her name because it makes me sick. I feel like I'd be about to throw up every time I hear her name.
Why? What would make you? Why would you be sick like that? Because didn't you hear Psaki said that Joe Biden saved Christmas?
Oh, she's such a liar. She's such a liar. I can't even, like I told you, I can't even pronounce the lady name because she makes me sick every time I hear her name. I don't listen to her press, whatever, her press secretary speech. I wait after she's done, then I go back and pull it up on YouTube. And she just sits there. She's just so condescending. Oh my!
Condescending. When someone's condescending, that is, there are a handful of negative personality traits that people have that tick me off. Number one on the list is condescending attitudes like that. That really pisses me off. It really does, instantly.
Yeah, it do with me too, because as me being a woman, even though you might have, most women, some that I can name of, you might come up and have a couple, missteps, like lying about something. But this lady does it all the time. I mean, she does it every time she walks.
Well, I don't expect them to go up there. I don't expect Jen Psaki's commentary on Joe Biden's administration to be mine, but I expect spin, but I don't expect outright lying like this. It's one thing, I understand if there's like a classified information, like if D-Day was happening, I wouldn't expect the press secretary to go out there and tell us the truth about that, but this isn't classified information. This is just propaganda with a failed guy, Biden.
Yeah. And she's doing it to protect him, to make him look more likable. From what I heard, she want to make him more honestly and make him more, because he can't go out there and do the speech himself. That's the bottom line. He can't do the speech. He can't talk that long. He would not answer any questions. So she goes out there and try to make him look more understanding to the people. And what she don't know, in her bubble head, that she's making it worse.
Mm-hmm.
Hear people all that voted for him, and they literally, white people, all kind of people coming out swinging on him all day long. Say he's such a liar. He's just a hypocrite. He lied to the world, and I'm like, but
well, why should Biden has been a lowlife his entire life. There has not been a moment. I got that book, Laptop in Hell, about Biden, the Miranda Devine book. There has not been a moment in his adult life, because the book only covers his adult life. I don't know about his childhood, but there has not been a moment in his entire adult life when he has not been a corrupt, very bad man. And so why should he stop now? Look where it's gotten him.
And that's the same thing I said. That's why when I go out and I see people, they be so mad. I was pumping gas yesterday morning, and the man said, "Oh my God, I can't take this no more." And I said, "Really?" And I looked at him. I said, "You okay, sir?" He said, "I just can't do this. I got to spend almost $200 in 1 week in gas." I said, "Oh my God."
Yeah, yesterday I did something that I've not done in a long time. My car was on. My wife hates that I do this, but I don't get gas until the car's on fumes. Because I don't know. I know you're not supposed to do that. I do it, and I go and fill up the car. And I went and to fill up my car yesterday, and the prices were so high, and I didn't fill up my tank. And the reason I didn't fill up my tank is because it's not that I couldn't afford to fill up my tank, but I didn't want to see the number that it took to fill up the tank. Do you understand what I mean? I filled it up about halfway, and I'm like, I don't want to know how much it costs to fill up my car now. I don't want to know. And so I stopped, and it was like half a tank, and I was like $37.
With me because I have an SUV, and I travel every day, even though I'm not working, but I do travel back and forth, and I'm spending almost $40 within 3 days. It's so sad, and when I hear that redhead lady, because that's what I call her, that lady gets up there and run her mouth and talk about nobody's done a good job. He's doing this and he's doing. I'm like, stop lying.
Well, yeah. Well, you need to get it. Yeah, exactly. All right, Maria, take care. Good call. Thanks for the call. First call of the day. I'll take one more, then we'll break. Good morning. You're on the radio.
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
If I was in the room when she said what she said,
Biden saved Christmas?
Yeah, Biden saves Christmas. My question would have been this: how can the Grinch save Christmas?
Yes. Yeah.
That's the thing. And I'm looking at that picture on your YouTube thumbnail. Man, she hasn't aged well.
Jen Psaki? Oh no, she's aged a lot in that job.
Oh no! I mean, you look at McEnany, and even we don't like her, but Dana Perino, Dana Perino's still a pretty good looking woman.
Oh, you got the hots for Dana Perino?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
he's got the hots
in terms of how what's the name is age. And look, all Democrats think they're good liars.
Mm-hmm.
Good liars. Yeah, but this is a woman. This is a woman who, you look at her and how she carries herself now, and she doesn't really carry herself all that well. She slouches. I mean, you look at her, and it's like this job is weighing.
Well, someone that will lie to your face like she's doing, and again, I understand whoever the president is, the other party always say that the press secretary is a liar. That's a little carried away. They're usually spinners. They spin. This is just outright lying. Just outright lying. Biden saved Christmas. Give me a break. Hey, Mike, I got to run for a break. All right, take care. Take care. Oh, man. Let's take a break, all right? We'll be right back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Do you want immune advice from a licensed professional with 30 plus years experience? Someone who's counseled thousands of clients, developed nutrient formulas, and is available at no charge. That's me, Janet Cimarelli, licensed nutrition counselor. Call me at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop at Festival Marketplace for your free counseling appointment. 954-317-1851. 954-317-1851.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
And, AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace, they are open on Christmas Day. I'll ask Janet to clarify the times, but I believe it's 10 to 5 Christmas Day, but she'll be calling in at about 5 to 8 and get the exact time. But the Festival Marketplace is open on Christmas, so you can stop into AJ's Natural Wellness Shop. And, I know a lot of people, sometimes a lot of people don't, have a lot to do on Christmas. Not everyone celebrates Christmas. And of course, a lot of times you're in the middle of the day, you got, your Christmas is over. Go over to AJ's Natural Wellness Shop at the Festival Marketplace. Say hi to Janet Cimarelli. I'm not sure if Janet and Anita will be there. I'm going to guess Janet will be Janet Cimarelli will be there on Christmas is my guess, because I know Anita has school-aged children, so it's probably harder for her to get away on Christmas. But it's a good day to stop in. AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace, open on Christmas. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. That's our number, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. I want to go through some of my sound bites here earlier in the show, and then I'll get into some other issues as the program goes on. Ted Cruz gave an interview, and it sounds like he's going to run for president. Let me play this. This is Ted Cruz.
We have another election coming up in 2024. So aside from the midterms, what are your thoughts on the field of potential candidates going into 2024, and would you ever consider another run for president?
Absolutely. In a heartbeat. I ran in 2016. It was the most fun I've ever had in my life. We had a very crowded field. We had 17 candidates in the race. Very strong field. And I ended up placing second. And, there's a reason historically that the runner-up is almost always the next nominee. Mm-hmm. And that's been true going back to Nixon or Reagan or McCain or Romney. That has played out repeatedly. You come in with just an enormous base of support. In 2016, we raised over $92 million. That was the most money any Republicans ever raised in the history of presidential primary.
Okay, so that sounds like he's planning on running. Now, full disclosure here, I want to be very clear about this. I do not trust Ted Cruz at all. I do not trust Ted Cruz. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't like what he says a lot of times. I like his analysis. He votes right, but I still do not trust Ted Cruz. I'll tell you why in a capsulized form here in a moment, because I've talked about this many times, but a lot of people don't know why this is, why a lot of people like me do not trust Ted Cruz, and I think it's important for people to know. But here is I don't like this at all. And what Ted Cruz says there pisses me off. It pisses me off. And here's why. This is Trump's time. We're in Trump time right now. There should be zero opponents of President Trump in the primary process. We should not even have a primary process at all. President Trump is the presumed 2024 nominee. No one else. And I really do believe what Ted Cruz is doing here is putting some feelers out. We've been talking a lot lately about how the never-Trumpers, the Republican establishment, the Democrats, the media are trying to get this false narrative going that a lot of Trump people don't want Trump to run. That's a lie. I'm not saying you can't find an isolated person here or there, but, you can always find a fool. But the MAGA movement is stronger than ever right now. And Ted Cruz is part of the Bush family dynasty. And I'm going to tell you why that is right now. And I've known this for a long time. I've talked about this many times during the campaign back in 2016, and I've mentioned it here and there, and I know a lot of people think that what I'm going to share with you now is insane. I'm out of my mind. Steve laughs at me every time I bring this up. That's cool. That's okay. But I'll tell you what you do. What I'm about to tell you, Google it, and you will find photographic evidence to back up what I'm about to tell you, and you'll find detailed articles about it. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but Ted Cruz came up through the Bush family. Remember, he was out there in Texas with Governor Bush, and that's how we ended up being the United States Senator. But it goes back further than that. And remember, the Bush family are part of this Liz Cheney January 6th kangaroo committee going on here, okay? Remember, the Bushes didn't vote for President Trump both times. They voted Hillary and Biden. They told us this. And that's where Ted Cruz comes from. But it goes back more than just him in Texas being the, was he the Solicitor General out there in Texas? It goes beyond that. Ted Cruz's father is in a photograph in New Orleans with Lee Harvey Oswald, obviously before the events of Dallas. Okay? There's a photograph of Ted Cruz's father, look this all up online, on the street in New Orleans, handing out leaflets with Lee Harvey Oswald. And what I believe was going on there is that Ted Cruz was a federal agent, not an official, I shouldn't say federal agent, a federal, I don't know, not an official agent, but a, I don't know, he was doing work for the federal government, either CIA or FBI, probably FBI. And his connection to Lee Harvey Oswald is why Ted Cruz was born in Canada. If you've ever seen an operative for the FBI, which, by the way, at that time, George Bush, the father, was in the FBI. Later was FBI, CIA and everything, but he was an FBI agent in Dallas, Bush 41, on the day of the Kennedy assassination. And if you've ever seen the Oliver Stone movie, JFK, the guy that Kevin Costner was playing, Jim Garrison had unnamed warrants for a couple of Cuban men that were working with Lee Harvey Oswald in New Orleans. And those warrants, and there is evidence, there is documented, you can find all this online. Look, everything I'm telling you, look it all up online and verify. This isn't, this is all just from memory. I haven't talked about this in a while. But there is proof, even with addresses, of Ted Cruz's father in New Orleans at the same time as Lee Harvey Oswald when the photograph with him on the street with Lee Harvey Oswald was taken. I believe because of the Jim Garrison investigation, Ted Cruz, his father, left New Orleans and went and hid out in Canada. And that's why Cruz was born there. And I think that the Cruz-Bush family go all the way back till then. Remember, he was new from Cuba. He's a perfect person to be infiltrating with Oswald. So I think Ted Cruz and the Bush family go way back till that point. So Ted Cruz is like a sleeper agent of the deep Republican establishment of the Bush family. And remember, the Bush family and the Cheney family, but that whole wing of the old guard of the Republican establishment are what's pushing this Liz Cheney Kangaroo January 6th committee. So Ted Cruz is likable. I find him charming. But he's a politician, a professional politician. And so that, successful politicians are charming. Bill Clinton was charming and Obama was charming. That's how they are. And I like what he says a lot of the time. But when he says he came in number 2, he's saying that he's deserving of it. He said he's deserving of the nomination. I don't think so. I will never trust Ted Cruz. Now, that doesn't mean that he hasn't done the right thing here and there for President Trump. But I do not trust Ted Cruz. I will never trust Ted Cruz. And no one ever should be standing up running against President Trump in the primaries in 2024, unless it's like Huckabee. If Huckabee does it, it's just like for fun. He's just having fun. He's not serious. But other than Huckabee, there should be none, no primary. There's one candidate in our primaries, and his name's Donald Trump. The 45th and 47th President of the United States is the plan. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Back after this.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration.
Steve Kane Show.
Survived the 2021
Hold on.
hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to the Steve Kane Show.
This is Brian Craig. I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and used tires. One of our listeners, Antonio, went to Friendly Tire and called to share with us his experience of buying used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, yes, Brian, I want to give you a quick testimony about
His
the
experience
tire
of
place
buying
of
used
Margate,
tires.
Friendly Tire. Friendly Tire, everything.
Make sure that you all like the video. You know, I've set a couple of people have asked me about this. I'll just tell you guys real quick. I've set the chat to subscriber only. It's only for 5 minutes. And the reason I did that is those spam bots have been coming out pretty brutally lately, you know, with the porn and all that stuff. I don't mean like trolls. I'm talking about the spam bots. I guess maybe the Christmas season. So that's why I'm doing that. It's only, you got to be subscribed for 5 minutes, and then you can chat. And it's just because of the spam bots. You know which ones I'm talking about. 5 minutes is the least amount of time you can set it for. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Is that good? You like it that way or not? All right. Welcome back, everyone. 38 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve's been under the weather the last week. I know he joined us earlier in the week, but he has been under the weather. No, it is not COVID. No, it's not COVID. Anytime someone gets sick, they assume it's COVID. But no, he's been under the weather. So I talked to Steve a little bit this morning briefly. And he's still under the weather, so I don't know if he'll be joining us today or tomorrow and come back next week. I don't know, but he has been under the weather, just so you all know. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is the number. Andrea, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How are you?
All right, how are you? You sound as perky as Jen Psaki when she told us that Biden saved Christmas.
Brian, please don't ever compare me to Jen Psaki. But I'm so perky because I'm very well rested due to my pillow.
Ah, yes, yes.
But what I would like to know, since Biden saved Christmas, I would like to know what percentage of those backlot containers Ron DeSantis filtered through Florida.
That's a great question. I didn't even think of that, Andrea. That's a great question.
What? So Biden is probably taking credit. My guess, knowing Ron DeSantis, is probably 70% of that backlog got filtered through Florida.
Yeah.
DeSantis.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with it. As always, he's just plagiarizing somebody else's success.
Yeah, he knows no other way. That's a very great question. Someone should ask Ron DeSantis. You know, Ron DeSantis may speak out on that this week. I would not be surprised because of this Jen Psaki clip is getting around the news cycle today.
And I hope he does. But the Washington Post article does not credit Joe Biden.
But I don't know anything about shipping. You know, I'm like Pete Buttigieg, but I'm not the Secretary of Transportation, so I don't need to know, right? But I don't know if those big cargo ships could make it through the Panama Canal. I don't know. Is the Panama Canal wide enough for those big ships? And to go through the Panama Canal is expensive as hell. And to go all the way around the tip of South America, that's a lot of fuel cost. I don't know. That doesn't sound too. That doesn't sound very cost effective. But I don't know.
But what you said is right. So when a container is held on the port or in the yard, after you get so many days free, and then they're charged a per diem charge, which is a per day charge for holding the container. And you know who gets that? China, because own most. Well,
yeah. You mean Biden's employer? If I were Biden, okay, I don't know anything about shipping. I don't know anything about trucking, okay? But I know how, just based on what I see going on in a conversation or two I've had with Wisconsin Gary, who's a truck driver. There's two things as president that I would do that would end the supply chain crisis in the ports of California. Number one, I would issue an executive order suspending all storage fees at the ports until the crisis is over. It would be over. And I don't mean the federal government paying for it. I mean suspending all storage fees, number one. Number two, I would suspend all the trucking regulations on unionized truckers and trucks not older than 10 years old and all this stuff being allowed in California until the crisis was over. And it would, if you lifted those storage fees, if you issued an executive order suspending all storage fees at California ports during this crisis, it would be over in a day. Because I give you an example. Walt Disney World, okay? They've been running a scam for a year with their parking fees. If you want to, they have these trams, that take you from your car to the gate at Walt Disney World because it's like a mile-long walk. It's the biggest parking lot in the world. They have parking that is preferred parking that's right up in front of the gate. It's like walking distance from Walt Disney World, and it's $50 a person. Since the parks a car, I mean, not a person, a car. And since the parks reopened after the COVID shutdown, they haven't been running the trams. And I've been telling people that they're not running the trams, Disney, to try to get people to pay the $50 extra to park at the other parking lot. And sure enough, Stephen Colbert was at Walt Disney World recently, and he talked about this on his show, what I'm sharing with you, about this tram scam. And that's what's going on at the ports. There's a scam, there's a storage fee scam going on. That's what it is, a storage fee scam. And it can be ended like that.
In addition to that, it took months of not getting those containers to cause this backlog. Months of it. But I would be curious to see how much got filtered through to Florida.
Oh, we'll find out. I don't know. It's a good question. I like it. Hey, Andrea, take care. Thanks for the call. All right, take care. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. How are we doing?
Oh, speak of the devil. Wisconsin Gary, the truck driver.
I'm gonna give you a little brief story that'll lead to the shipping containers. 12 years ago, I was going in a no truck route. I was hauling about 32,000 pounds of rolled up paper, and the cop was over on the other side, pulled me to the scale. Because it was a no truck route, he fined me. It was $25,000 for being in a no truck route on a non-legalized weighted bridge. But now what I'm getting to on now with these shipping containers are basically being held hostage on these ships because of the simple fact is if the customer wants that product, they're going to have to do what like I had to do at the weight scale, pay that in order to get their shipping container. And I think the cutback is going to a lot of these shipping companies, and that's where a lot of it might be going. Now, ports be getting some of that, I think, and they are too. But you also brought up another question about Panama Canal. Do you remember not too long ago there was a green leaf or green transportation, shipping container transportation that got stuck in the Panama Canal?
Yeah. Yeah, the Panama Canal was built over 100 years ago, so I know they've done updates and everything, but I don't think it's big enough to handle these mega freighters.
Well, if that one ship was able to go through there, it's going to be tight from what I've heard with a lot of these ships, but I do believe, because Andrea brought up a really good point about that, how much probably went to Florida, and I'd kind of like to know myself how much tonnage, because that's what the government bases off of, how much tonnage came out of Florida where all those ships rerouted to Florida to the port, because that would basically put Ron DeSantis.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a funny thing that she mentions that, Andrea, about, obviously none of us know the answer to that question, but I've made a couple of trips recently to Orlando. It's like a 3-hour drive on the Florida Turnpike, and I've noticed in the last few weeks more semis on the Florida Turnpike than I would normally see. So, and that would be coming from the busiest ports in Florida are Miami and Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale is actually busier than Miami. So that is an indicator that may be so. No.
The one thing is, if I ever come down to Florida, if I'm always on the east coast of Florida, I would normally take that turnpike because it's the fastest way other than coming down 75 and cutting all the way across the Everglades. But I mean, it's like the one thing that's bad about the turnpike is when you get those rain spurts, it can really mess up your whole day because people just don't seem to know how to drive or slow down, because once that rain spurt goes and they create a dew.
Yeah. Well, if it is true what we're talking about, that the ports in China and the shipping companies are running a scam, Biden, that's mission accomplished, because he's a crook, and he thinks being a crook is how you make money. He doesn't know how to make money the honest way. Being a crook for profit is what he's done, so he thinks, that they're just good business people. Hey, listen, thanks for the call, Wisconsin Gary. Got to run for a break. 48 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Back after this.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Sole Authority. At the Sole Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You are probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand shoes. They're stylish. They will provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Sole Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoleauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Oh man, today is one of the coldest mornings we will have all winter long here in Florida. It's like 56 degrees when I left the house this morning. Oh my goodness. If I owned socks, I'd be wearing socks. But I don't own socks. But I'm wearing a fleece jacket today. I'm wearing pants. It's cold. I had the seat heater on in the car. But, last night I slept on my MyPillow 100% Giza cotton flannel sheets. Oh, man. Those flannel sheets of Mike Lindell's are amazing. Everything Mike Lindell makes is high quality and spectacular. You all know that. But those flannel sheets are absolutely amazing. In fact, like with Mike Lindell's regular Giza cotton dream sheets, you're always the perfect temperature in your bed. You're always the perfect temperature. They're so soft and so comfortable, too. And, Listen, I know Christmas is just a couple days away. All these items at MyPillow.com, you get incredible deals on them with the promo code Kane at checkout. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener specials, and use our promo code Kane, and you can get all these specials I'm going to tell you about right now. But these are great gifts for yourself, too. That's right. But sometimes what we do, like my daughter has one gift that we won't have until after the 1st. So what we do is we just printed up a picture of it and wrap that up and put it under the tree for that one so she'll know. And you can do the same thing with the MyPillow product. Just print up the picture from the website, wrap it up, and tell them. And you can have the gift delivered right to the recipient. The Giza Dream Sheets, both the regular and the flannel, come in all sizes. Whatever size mattress you have, there's sheets for it. Buy one set, get a second set free. They're absolutely amazing. I woke up on them this morning, and it just was the best. The MyPillow itself, the pillow that started it all, the normal price is $69.98. With our promo code Kane at checkout, not $69.98, the lowest price ever, $19.98. I know, right? It's a great deal. The 6-piece MyPillow towel set, I have these towels. Oh, man, they work like a towel should. They dry you off. They absorb the water. And it absorbs the water so well, the towel is almost dry after I dry off. The regular price for the MyPillow towel set is $109.99, $110. With the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, just $39.99. The MyPillow My Slippers, I have these, Steve have these. They're wonderful. The MyPillow My Slippers with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, 40% off. It's amazing. The biggest special of all, and this is a major life changer, you've heard Andrea talk about this, the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, 50% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, 50% off for the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. It'll change your life. Whatever special you see at MyPillow.com, no matter what it says, you can take advantage of with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. All right, so that is that. That's, Ted Cruz. Oh, man. All right, let me get to some of these other sound bites, though. Let's see here. This is, Mayor Beetlejuice. What's her name? Lightfoot. Mayor Lightfoot. Is that cultural appropriation? Not appreciation, appropriation. We know Jen Psaki, that's cultural appropriation because her last name is the Japanese alcoholic beverage. Cultural appropriation by Psaki. But Mayor Lightfoot in Chicago, Lightfoot sounds like a Native American name, doesn't it? Maybe she's guilty of cultural appropriation as well. These are liberal crimes. Listen.
Talk to everybody you know who's unvaccinated. Our future is going to depend upon whether or not they stop being hesitant and get the vaccine. I don't want to shut the economy down. I don't want to have to take other mitigation steps. We have been through hell and back in the last 20 months. Nobody wants to go back to that time, least of all me. But if we have to take drastic steps, we will take them. I hope we...
Did she say if we have to have drastic sex? Hold on, let me play that part again. Hold on, I didn't catch that before. Hold on.
Least of all me. But if we have to take drastic steps, we will...
Yeah, she misspoke. She said if we have to have drastic sex. She meant to say if we have to take drastic steps. Listen, hold on, let me play that again. Hold on. Let me see.
Through hell and back in the last 20 months. Nobody wants to go back to that time, least of all me. But if we have to take drastic steps, we will.
Yeah. She said drastic sex. If everyone in Chicago is not vaccinated, Mayor Lightfoot's going to have a big orgy, apparently.
We will take them. I hope we never, ever have to get back there again. But it really depends upon the actions that people take here and now. We are in another crisis, and we've got to act accordingly.
Okay. The Democrats, of course, are bringing back segregation. They've been bringing back racial segregation. We talk about that sometimes. But now what they're talking about doing is this scarlet letter business. In 1978, the remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers came out. I went and saw that in the theater. I was 7 years old because Leonard Nimoy was in it, Mr. Spock. And have you guys seen the 1978 invasion of the body snatchers? The pod people, right? The spores, the plants from space would take over people. And it's the last scene in the movie with Donald Sutherland. When someone who is infected with the spores, an invasion of the body snatchers, encounters someone who is not, they point at them and make this noise. I'm not going to do the noise because I can't do the noise and it would be annoying. You remember they'd scream at them and point at them. That's what's going on with this public shaming of people. This public shaming of people that have not bent the knee and done what they're told. She is threatening, if you don't do what you're told about this, to shut down the economy of Chicago, shut down the stores and the businesses. You know, the biggest problem in Chicago, well, it's Democrats, but beyond that, the biggest problem in Chicago is murder. If she came out and shut down Chicago to stop the gun violence, I'd support that. We're going to shut this city down and we're going to lock it down until all the gangbangers and their guns are off the streets. And you know what? People would be ratting each other out like no one's business. I've never seen the Democrats in Chicago, Lightfoot or any of them, do one damn thing to stop one shooting death in Chicago. Oh, but oh boy, they'll shut down the entire city. And that is what she's doing is a shakedown. What happened? You know, she's a woman, is she gay? She's a gay woman, and my body, my choice. I've heard this from feminists my entire life. My body, my choice. Medical decisions are between me and a doctor, and no one else's business. And all the Democrats always said medical decisions are private. They've used the right to privacy on abortion rights since 1973, right to privacy. Medical decisions are between you and your doctor. This has been the Democrat platform for as long as I've been coherent, because I was 2 in 73. Don't remember it too much. But now all of a sudden, it's public. They want passports. You got to show your card. You got to show proof. Now, all of a sudden, your medical history is out there for everyone to see, walking into a store, walking into a restaurant, going to work, going to school. Everybody knows because you've got to produce proof of it. And if you don't, you get tarred and feathered. You got to show your papers. Unless, of course, you're coming from the southern border, you need no papers, including no vaccination card and also no ID, no immigration papers, no passport. But American citizens in American cities need to have all these papers. You have to be documented. Medical privacy is a big deal, okay? People's medications that they take is no one's business. And the Democrats have been saying this forever. Now all of a sudden, everyone's medical history is out there for everyone to see. And if you don't make the medical choices we like, you will be publicly shamed. If you don't make the medical choices we like, we're going to shut down the city. We're going to shut down the economy. No store, no business, no school will be open until everyone complies with what we tell them to do medically. And it's not just Chicago either. It's 7 a.m., 1 hour down, 2 to go. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian Craig. Back after this.
AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hi, Brian Craig here. We've been telling you on the Steve Kane Show, for coronavirus testing, stop by any lab test now of Coral Springs and any lab test now of Boca. One of our longtime sponsors, Dr. Mitch Matez of the Boca Raton Center for Age Management, went to any lab test now of Boca for coronavirus testing this weekend, and he called in live on the radio to share his experience.
Listen, Brian, I have a great experience to tell you about. I went to any lab test now on Saturday to get COVID-19 tested. And it was awesome. We had a little experience where we had somebody in our close circle.
With all the talk about Lightfoot, you haven't talked about how she now is requesting aid from the government to send in food.
Oh, yeah, for the crime, yeah.
After refusing it from Trump.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Help me out.
Checked in. 2 minutes later, they took us back, did our test. We sat in the waiting room for less than 15 minutes. They brought us back, gave us our results, which were negative, and we were on our way home. And a little shout out to Brittany, the nice young lady who did our test. It was completely painless. It was quick, it was simple, it was easy, and it gave you both the IgM and the IgG antibodies, which tells you if you have the infection now or if you've been exposed to it in the past.
Now, you went to any lab test now with Boca?
Boca Raton, yeah, and the Sandal
Steve Kane Show.
was awesome. It really was. It was cool, and it's easy, it's simple, and I'm telling you, that's the way to go. Forget this 10-day nonsense.
Doctor recommended. Can I say that in the commercial now? Doctor recommended. Any lab test now with Boca Raton?
Yeah, doctor recommended. Yeah, it was really kind of cool, and it was wonderful. And
Steve Kane Show.
To that end, go over and get tested. This is the test you want to get. It tells you point blank, did you have it, do you have it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
That's great. So Dr. Mitch Matez personally recommending any lab test now of Boca.
You heard Dr. Mitch Matez. Any lab test now of Boca is doctor recommended for coronavirus testing. They're located in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro on the east side of 441. Give them a call, 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood over by the Coral Square Mall. Their number, 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on The Steve Kane Show.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1.
All right, welcome back. 3 minutes after 7, I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show and also the most pro-Donald Trump radio show on the planet. I'm looking out over at the ocean right now. The sun is coming up. It is so beautiful. My window here in the studio faces south, and I can see east if I stand sideways out at the ocean. Yeah. Well, the executives at the radio station have the beach view directly from the windows in their offices. That's cool. But I can still see it, and it's very beautiful over there. And one of those buildings is owned by President Trump that I'm looking at, too. All right, let's go to the phones. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. If you're just tuning in, Jen Psaki announced that Joe Biden saved Christmas. So we're all very excited about that. And, brought up a few other things as well. But I'll take some calls before I bring up any new topics. 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning, Brian.
Oh, hey, Richie.
51 degrees up here.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I good. I'd like to talk about the economy. Jen Psaki. Merry Christmas. Thank you, Biden.
Yes.
I got a friend neighbor across the street who's general manager in Vero Beach of a huge Chrysler Dodge dealership. Okay, he's got on his. I mean, you look, it's a massive place. I'm not playing with it. I mean, it's massive. And you go into the dealership and you think you're in a Lexus dealership. They got coffee bar, they got everything, right? So I talked to him. He says, "You know how many cars I got on my lot?" I said, "Man, this is big." He says, 67 new cars. He says, everything else here is used. He says, I can't get new cars. We haven't got one Chrysler on the parking lot. If you notice, you don't see a lot of car commercials this Christmas like you normally do? You see them, but not as...
I don't know about... okay. It's funny you bring this up. I was talking about this on my podcast a couple of days ago. My wife has a Mini Cooper, and it had a recall on it, so I had to take it to the dealer for the recall. I had to get a new seatbelt on it or something, and it took them 4 damn hours to do it. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness, my whole Saturday was blown. But anyway, I was walking around the lot, and it's a mini BMW dealer, and it's it's in anyway, I don't need to say which one, but it's a mini and BMW dealer. So since I had, I guess because the recall, I'm not paying them. They put me to the back of the line. If I was black, I could have just cried racism. But anyway, I walked around the lot and looking at both the BMWs and the Minis, and I saw a sticker on every car that I had not seen before. And they have 2 stickers now, right? They've got the regular sticker in the window you always get, and then they had another sticker on the windshield, which was a price increase on top of the sticker price, and it was called market value price adjustment. The lowest one I saw was $3,000 on the lowest end Mini Cooper, and over at the BMW dealership, I saw one that was just under $20,000 added on top of the sticker price. And what's going on, and I'll throw this out to people to comment on that are in the car business, okay? What's going on here is the auto dealerships are no longer negotiating prices on new or used cars. It's it. But there's no negotiation, and I'm wondering how much of the low inventories at lots around the country that we're seeing are by design, so that they can, one, not negotiate and have this added price on top of the sticker price. Do a lot of these dealers have a parking lot somewhere else that have cars? I don't know. It seems to be a possible racket.
Oh, I know the guy across the street. First of all, they can't get the computer chips that they need for the new cars. So the manufacturers are not shipping new cars to these people. Normally, you would get 400 cars a month. He told me he's lucky if he gets 50, and sometimes not even that, 25. That's why used cars are up. So if you have a used car that you bought 3 years ago, you'll get more money now than you did when it was.
Yeah, this is the only time when you buy a car at a dealer, you can sell it for at the same or more than you paid for it. Yes.
Yeah, they have to stay in business, so they're just selling used cars. I went to the Nissan up in Vero, and I walked in. I said, "Geez, they must have moved the dealership somewhere, because this is all used car lot now." And he says, "No, this is just, we only have a couple of cars. Everything else is used because we can't get them." This is what's going on. So there's no this shipping lane crap.
Yeah, but is the guy that is he adding on to the sticker price? I mean, I've been.
No, he's the only one that's selling sticker. He told me, go over to Toyota, it's right across the street. They're adding on. I hope people remember this when this is all over. He has not. He refuses to upscale it. But the bottom line is, who pays sticker price? Even that's ridiculous. So.
No, I've never paid. I have never paid sticker price for a car. I don't. If you do, you're in the past, you're a fool. But now you have to pay thousands over the sticker price.
And by the way, the jobs that they're talking about, this is kind of nuts. This is the greatest economy since the beginning of time, and things are going so well. Well, you start to shake your head a little bit. You see wanted signs everywhere, but what he has done, all those jobs that he has said he created, are jobs that Lori Lightfoot and the rest of them shut these businesses down for over 6, 8, 9 months a year, and now they're just opening up and they're hiring people.
Maybe they're starting to do more shutdowns so that next year when the election year comes up, maybe it's a way to manipulate the employment statistics. They can reopen them, and all of a sudden they've got millions of new jobs created.
Not just that, they don't want this election. Let me tell you.
Well, that's true. I'm gonna move on though. Thanks for the call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, it's Al from Coral Springs. How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing all right. How are you, Al?
All right. Before I get to the question I want to ask you, what did Trump Jr. lend you diamond soap with this fake Maria that's calling in, pretending to support Trump? I mean, first she was from South Carolina. No, first she was from Louisiana, and today she's from Florida. And how many African American women you know from Louisiana named Maria? Give me a break. But anyway, I wanted to ask you, what do you think about AOC? She just put forth legislation to cease, or for all members of Senate and Congress to cease and not be able to participate in stock trading. You guys are always saying how evil this lady is. But here she is going directly at corruption.
Okay. At what point do you want me to answer the question about AOC?
Why do you hate her so much?
I don't hate her.
No senator, nobody in...
She's not a senator. She's not a senator. Okay, I don't hate AOC. That's correct. You asked a question. Can I answer the question? Are you interested in the answer? Well, I know I can answer the question. I can just hang up on you. But are you interested in the answer?
Oh.
Well, every call ends in a hang up, Al. Every call ends with a hang up. No matter who, even in your private life, someone's got to hang up. AOC, I don't think AOC is evil. I think she's stupid. She's stupid. She's a stupid person. She's a child. I call her Veruca Salt, and if you're a fan of Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, you'll remember Veruca Salt, spoiled girl, but she's stupid. She doesn't have an understanding. Now, let's talk about... Slow down. Slow down. I know, yeah. This is how stupid she is, okay? And let's just say that what you said is true. Okay, so Nancy... Yeah, but you're not very smart either, because you don't understand the stupidity of what she did. So, okay, so if I'm in Congress and they pass this law, by the way, Congress makes the laws, the president signed them into law, and Congress makes laws that benefit them. I know you're a liberal, but you're not the only person, okay? I'm talking to the tens of thousands that listen to this program too, not just you. Oh yeah, this is the longest running radio show. Over 100,000 people hear this show every day. There's no one, the only thing fake around here is you. Okay, so I'm in Congress. AOC has gotten this law passed that I'm not allowed to trade in stocks. And you think, no, I know you're not, just stop talking for a second. AOC gets this. I know you want me to hang up on you really bad because you know that I'm about to show the stupidity of you, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this with or without you. I don't care if you're here or not. I'm trying to treat you like a human being. So AOC gets this law passed. I'm in Congress. I can no longer buy or sell or participate in the stock market with stocks that involve government contracts and government business. Oh, that's not your immediate family. Oh, okay. So so in my immediate family, okay. So that means my cousin, my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, they can do all of that for me. My son-in-law, my cousin, so my third cousin can do it. This believe me, and I noticed how he just added on to it as I started to walk down the garden path. It's never going to happen. See, if you, like, for example, yeah, like I'll give you an example with Joe Biden. I will not only hang up on you, I'll prohibit you from calling the program if you don't start having some decency. I'm not trying to scare you. Okay. Goodbye. Joe Biden, like I was very shocked at the number of this. When I had the audio book of Laptop from Hell, Miranda Devine's book on the Bidens. Some of the emails and text messages are from Joe Biden's brother to Hunter, asking for his monthly consulting fee, which was over $80,000 a month. If the immediate family is you, your children, and your spouse. It's not your brother, your brother-in-law, your son-in-law, your daughter-in-law. I mean, look at the Attorney General, okay? Look at the Attorney General. His son-in-law, which means his daughter, his son-in-law has a big ownership stake in one of the manufacturers of books and curriculum for critical race theory that would distribute to all the public schools if it became mainstream education. Congress is a con job. They're never going to pass that law. They're never going to pass that law. This is how they get rich. It's how they don't make their money on their salaries. They couldn't even pay their, most of these people couldn't pay for their cigars on their congressional salary. Democrats are stupid and naive, and I don't think AOC is evil at all. I think she's a stupid person who has no understanding of the real world. And there's nothing worse than an immature, stupid person who thinks they're brilliant and mature. Like when she was celebrating those Amazon jobs that she destroyed in New York. All right, we'll take our first break of the second hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian Craig. Back right after this.
Actually have the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper, which is 50% off right now with the promo code Kane at checkout. And you were telling me about your situation and how the MyPillow mattress topper changed your life. Can you tell me about that?
Let me tell you, Brian, I'm literally shocked. I'm normally very skeptical when I buy things. So I have 6 MyPillows, and then I bought the mattress topper. So about 5 years ago, I was involved in an accident at the gym where I was doing a pull-up and somebody actually jumped on me, which tore.
Yeah, so another thing, I started something different yesterday, and it seems to be working well. I think I have solved my buffering issues too. You notice we haven't had buffering for a couple days. I think I've solved that.
I never get deep sleep. When I got the mattress topper, it has been the first time in probably 5 years. The first night I got it, I actually slept so well. I slept through boot camp and 2 clients. Like, it's so supportive and so comfortable, and it eases the pain that I have. I'm actually sleeping longer deep sleep durations, which is imperative for, your health.
Oh, yeah.
Supposed to get
That's amazing.
down into the...
That's amazing, Andrea. That really is. Now, listen, if you go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener specials, you can get the very same mattress topper that I sleep on, the one that Andrea is talking about. It's the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, the thickest mattress topper that Mike Lindell and MyPillow offer for 50% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 800-716-4879, 800-716-4879, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. Yeah, that's amazing, and I'm glad we can help you out with that, and I'm sure it's been a big change in your life.
Or yesterday. I started it yesterday.
Literally shocking.
What I'm doing that's different.
Truly.
Wow. Hey, Andrea, thanks for that. I appreciate it.
Have a good day, Brian.
All right, take care. Wow, that's amazing. You hear that? First night's sleep she's gotten in 5 years with the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper. 50% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. And again, you can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. Comes in every mattress size there is, and it comes in a box that's perfect to wrap and put under the tree. You can also send it to the recipient of the gift if you're sending it out for a Christmas gift. But as
And yesterday too, the new system I was using, I started yesterday.
Wow, that's an amazing story.
And there was no buffering yesterday. Just fine-tuning. I'm not saying it'll never return, but I know how to fix it now. All righty. Welcome back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. All right, back to the phones. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Good morning, Conservative.
Oh, hey, Doug.
You know, and then, you know, I was just thinking about the woman that you say, the listener who's in the hospital in Oxford.
Sarah. Sarah's been on a ventilator for 3 weeks.
Yeah, well, you know, last night they had a special on One American News about the protocol that some of these damn hospitals are pulling. They said that they tell you not to do anything to somebody who has COVID.
Well, I don't know about that. I know about Sarah because I talked to her before she was on the ventilator. She can't talk now, but and her family, and they did everything. Every treatment and medication you have heard about has been used on Sarah. And yeah.
I was thinking, I was hoping that was the case with her.
Everything you can think of, they've treated her with.
Because they were saying that the ivermectin is so severe.
They've tried it. They have tried everything. Yeah, me too.
Back to the car thing. I went into a car dealer and I couldn't believe it. They wanted more money than the sticker price. I said, listen, come on, what's the real price? Oh, no, that's the price. I said, listen, I'm going to walk out. Get the manager. The manager comes over and he says the same thing. No.
Oh, yeah? What dealer was this? What kind of dealer was this?
Well, I went to the Chrysler dealer. I went to the Genesis dealer. I was looking to get a new car. And I said, I got to get.
When was this? You bought a new car? You're buying a new car? When was this?
This is about 2 weeks ago. I didn't buy anything because I said I'm not paying list price. Number one, I've never done that before.
Well, then you're not buying a car today, used either. They won't negotiate on used cars either.
I didn't check a used car, but man, I was looking for a new one, and they don't care. They let you. Then I said, well, how long does it take to get a car? I want a white with the tan interior. Oh, about 4 or 5 months. I said 4 or 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
This is insane. I don't know what the hell's going on, but you know, I know they blame the chips, but I think you would say was right. It's just a little plan.
I understand there's supply chain issues. Okay, I understand that. I get that. But I think it's gotten a little different now. Now I could be wrong. If there's somebody out there listening who works in the automotive sales side of the industry, like you work at a car dealership or you own a car dealership or you're a sales manager, I'd love to hear from you on this. But I know that the dealers have few cars in stock. And maybe it's true. I don't know, but I'm just wondering if they're taking, like Rahm Emanuel, don't let a good crisis go to waste. Are they using this crisis to drive up the price of the cars? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen. I knew that they were not negotiating, but this second sticker where they're raising the price thousands of dollars on top of it, that was something I'd never seen before.
It's not the car company. If it was a car company, they'd be raising the sticker price. Damn deal with. I don't know if it's every place, but it's certainly down here. Everybody's looking to rob you.
Yeah. All right. Take care. All right. 24 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian. It is the Steve Kane Show. Our number toll free 1-888-GO-KANE-1. If you're new to the show, you hear us say a lot. This is the longest running radio show in the state of Florida. The Steve Kane Show on the radio since 1977. And here in Florida, Steve started this show in Orlando, but in '83 came here to South Florida. And we broadcast live in the morning from 6 until 9 a.m. on 95.3 FM, 96.9 FM, and AM 1470. That's from 6 till 9 live. We're also on the air 7 nights a week with an overnight rebroadcast midnight till 6 a.m. on all those radio stations. And both the live and overnight show you can also listen to on the iHeart Radio app and the TuneIn app. And if you happen to be in your car, you're driving out of the range of our signal or around the country, if you listen to us on the iHeart Radio or the TuneIn app, you can listen on your Bluetooth in your vehicle. And you can find us on the app searching for our station call letters, WWNN. 2 W's and 2 N's. And, of course, you can watch me live stream on YouTube with our very opinionated, very active and opinionated chat room. Just search Brian Craig Show on YouTube, and my YouTube channel will come up. I also upload my podcast there, and I make a lot of videos outside of the radio show and my podcast that I upload there as well. Brian Craig Show on YouTube. All right, now I wanted to play this clip. This is really disturbing to me to play. This is a doctor that was a guest with Joy Reid last night. Joy Reid, I don't think you're going to hear Joy in this clip. I think I successfully edited her out because I don't want to hear Joy Reid. But this is her guest, who was a doctor. And this was last night on MSNBC.
And then I do think negative incentives, whether it's a vaccine mandate in the workplace or, and this is where it gets controversial, but we need to start talking about this, the bioethics of it broadly, because this is not the last respiratory pandemic we're going to face, Joy. What do we do with somebody who's unvaccinated, who's taking advanced ICU therapies from somebody who is vaccinated in the hospital? How do we rank order that priority? We do it for organs, kidneys, livers, lungs. We say, did you smoke? Did you drink recently? If you did, you're lower on the list, even if you need it. We need to start thinking of that model, have bioethics around it, a framework, because this is not going to be the last respiratory pandemic we face.
This is insane. This is totally insane. This is. Yeah, I was talking when we were talking about the Jesse Waters Fauci issue yesterday. I was telling people, this is not the same country it was a year and a half ago. This country is not a free country anymore in many ways. They're talking about what they're talking about, and this is MSNBC, that's NBC News. NBC News. This isn't like some fringe guy. You know, I remember these guys in the 80s and 90s that had the shortwave radios and the black helicopter crowd that would do the crazy black helicopter shows on shortwave radio, like Art Bell out in the desert. You know, this is NBC News, and it's not even. They're not even have another side on this. They're talking about denying life-saving medical treatment to someone because they're not vaccinated. Now, I'm not a doctor. I do not give medical opinions on anything. Now, I do give you my experience, sometimes like with Dr. Mitch Matez with hormone replacement pellet therapy, and then you go and meet with Dr. Matez for that no-charge consultation, and he'll discuss with you hormone replacement pellet therapy, and he, who's a doctor, and you'll make a decision between a doctor and a patient. I don't tell anybody what to do, but I do know this, that I remember every year my wife has to get a cardiac cath because of her condition, and it's done in the cath lab. And it is, and people go. My wife has to do it routinely every year. It's a checkup. But most people, what happens when you go in a cardiac cath? They go inside your heart. They go inside your arteries to test the pressures inside the arteries, but they also go in to check for blockage. And there has been, and they start in the morning, so what will happen is my wife and I will get there. It's an outpatient procedure. We'll get there. A lot of other people are showing up, walking in, to get their cardiac cath. They got their wife with them, their husband with them, and it's very routine. We go in, and it's a thing, we do it. And more than one time, almost every time actually, somebody will be in there, just a routine thing. Next thing you know, because there's not a lot of privacy in the cardiac cath lab. They have little curtains. It looks like an emergency room setting, so you can hear everything. And pretty much every time my wife goes in for this, somebody is going in for emergency bypass. Sometimes the big quadruple. Instantly into the surgery. And whatever is going on gets bumped. I've heard the doctors telling the family, we found blockage. We're taking them in the surgery right now. I've never heard a doctor say, we found blockage. What's your diet? Oh, at McDonald's 3 times a day. How many years? Whole life. Oh, well, you've been eating McDonald's 3 times a day for 30 years. You did this to yourself. Sorry, no quadruple bypass for you. Are you somebody goes into the doctor, they have lung cancer. Oh, you're a smoker? No treatment for you. We're going to treat this person that never smoked for their cancer first. Have you ever heard of such a thing? I have not. The only other time this was even debated publicly prior to this phase of the fall of America as we know it, that I can think of. Now, if somebody else has another example, please let me know. It was Mickey Mantle. Remember, Mickey Mantle had to get a liver transplant. He was a lifelong alcoholic, destroyed his liver, and there were people saying he should not get a liver transplant because he'd been a drunk his whole life, and he did. They should go to somebody else who never had a drink. I don't know what this guy's talking about with the transplants. I have known people that have gotten organ transplants. The way organ transplants work now in this country is it's based on need. You go to the top of the line. Who's closest to death? Years ago, it didn't work that way. Back in the Mickey Mantle days, it didn't work that way. You would get on a transplant list and you would bank time on the list. And it would go based on how much time you had banked on the list. They changed that many years ago. It's done by need. In fact, my wife and I know someone. My wife knows the person. I know who they are. Who just died this week from rejection from a lung transplant. It was their second transplant. They had had a transplant. They had a full lung transplant. It didn't take. They gave them, it was a very nice lady. They gave her a second set of lungs. She rejected those 2. She died this week, a couple days ago. They didn't say to her with the second lungs, well, you know, the first lungs didn't work for you. Guess your body's not up to it. No lungs for you. This is Nazism. This is eugenics. This is beyond just a death panel. There's no panel. They're just deciding. No treatment for you. Never heard of such a thing. You know, I'll get an example. AIDS. Some people get AIDS from risky behaviors. Sex, drugs. Some people get it, from when I say by reckless sex, right? Should someone who has AIDS because, a blood transfusion, like Ryan White back in the day from the blood, remember the blood supply back then? Remember Ryan White? Or maybe they got it from their spouse that was sleeping with prostitutes in brothels and they didn't know and they got it from their spouse. The other person, you got 2 people in the hospital. They're dying from AIDS. They both need treatment. Who should get treated first? The person that got AIDS from having unprotected sex with hookers, or the person that just got it unknowingly from their spouse that was the person cheating with the hookers? You give the treatment to the person that needs it the most to get through that moment. You triage people based on who's going to live, who's going to die. If you're in an emergency room, 2 people come in. They were in a DUI. One's the drunk, one's the innocent person. The innocent person, they're not as bad. They're hurt. They need treatment. The drunk's going to die if they don't get treatment right now. Who do you treat first? You treat the drunk. You treat who's ever closest to death. You don't say, we don't like you. You didn't do what the doctor ordered. Almost everybody in the hospital is in the because the doctors say don't smoke, people smoke. Doctors say exercise, people don't exercise. Doctors say eat right, don't eat the, all these fattening foods and everything. People do. I've never heard of this before until now. And this guy here, let me play it again if you're just tuning in. This is a doctor that was on with Joy Reid on MSNBC last night.
I do think negative incentives, whether it's a vaccine mandate in the workplace or, and this is where it gets controversial, but we need to start talking about this, the bioethics of it broadly, because this is not the last respiratory pandemic we're going to face, Joy. What do we do with somebody who's unvaccinated, who's taking advanced ICU therapies from somebody who is vaccinated in the hospital? How do we rank order that priority? We do it for organs, kidneys, livers, lungs. We say,
lies.
Oh, did you drink recently? If you did, you're lower on the list. Even if you
lies.
Start thinking of that model, have bioethics around it.
Bioethics, yeah, Auschwitz ethics. This doctor should lose his damn license. Is what this doctor's saying? Is what this doctor's saying violating his oath? Is it violating the law? I remember I was talking to Dr. Mitch Matez from the biostation a couple months ago, and I asked him a question. It was insane. He's a doctor. And I asked him, I said, if there's a home invader trying to kill you, trying to kill your family in your house, and you shoot them in self-defense, are you obligated as a doctor to save their life and treat them? And he says not only is he obligated, he could face all kinds of civil and criminal penalties if he didn't. And Joy Reid's just nodding along. Let's take our break. I want to hear your thoughts on this. At 1-888-GO-CANE1. I know it's Christmas and these are not happy thoughts, but hey, this is Biden's America right now. I'm sorry. 1-888-GO-CANE1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Back after this.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to the Steve Kane Show.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
Well, since I mentioned his name, let's talk about him now. Dr. Mitch Matez from the biostation. He's my anti-aging doctor. That's right. And I know he's a lot of our listeners' anti-aging doctor as well. And of course, he's the originator. He brought to South Florida many, many years ago, he was the first doctor to bring to the entire market hormone replacement pellet therapy back in 2005. They're tiny little pellets about the size of a grain of rice before you add water to it. They're inserted in your hip area. And what they do is absolutely amazing. They restore your hormone levels to where they were when you were in your 20s, in both men and women. It'll increase your sex drive, increase your energy, increase your sexual performance. You'll feel better, you'll look better. I'm using this example, which I think illustrates it. Before hormone replacement pellet therapy is Joe Biden. After is President Trump. That's how dramatic hormone replacement pellet therapy is. your energy levels will go through the roof. And I've seen this in so many of our listeners. If you want to look and feel the way you did when you were young, call Dr. Mitch Matez at the BioStation, a completely free consultation. And he has patients in their late 20s all the way up until their 90s. It also helps with cognitive abilities. If Joe Biden went over and took advantage of this free consultation with Dr. Mitch Matez and began hormone replacement pellet therapy, he'd be his old self. Here's the number to call at the BioStation. Make sure you mention you heard them on the radio so you get that free consultation, because other people who call, not from the radio, have to pay for that consultation. It's only free if you mention you heard about him on the radio. Call Dr. Mitch Matez at the BioStation, 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. And again, all our sponsors are listed on our sponsor page at SteveKaneShow.com. You'll see the sponsor page link where the photograph of Steve with the glass of champagne is, all right? Okay, back to the phones. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Rome, Wisconsin.
Hey, Rome, Wisconsin, what's up?
So, years back, my dad became suddenly ill. We didn't know what was going on. Ends up at Freighter Hospital, which is a huge teaching hospital here in Wisconsin. He's in liver failure, and without a new liver, he's not going to survive. And, excuse me, the doctor said he didn't qualify for a liver because he's a closet drinker. Well, my father was not a closet drinker, and I put up a real big fight for him. And the consultation was kind of happening where people walking by could hear what was going on. And it just so happened that a phlebotomist was walking past, and she overheard the conversation. And after it was done, she had a meeting with this doctor, and she wanted my dad tested for hemochromatosis. And long story short, it's in our family. It's a genetic disease in our family. Chances are my grandfather died of it. It was going to kill my father without getting a new liver. Without God intervening and having this phlebotomist walk by when she did, this doctor was not going to grant my dad a spot on that waiting list for a new liver.
A monster.
It was scary.
Well, I'll tell you what I would have done. I mean, you had a crisis you had to deal with, so you can't. But when that crisis was over, I would have gone to a lawyer. I would have sued. I would have sued that doctor, and I would have made a major complaint with whatever licensing board Mingala there belonged to. I mean, that's a crazy story.
It was horrible, and the ending of the story, is my father got his liver from somebody. We had a church shooting over in the Brookfield area, and he got his liver from somebody who died at church.
Oh my!
Yeah. So, my dad ended up dying in 2010. He had his liver for 5 years. Gave him 5 more years of life.
Yeah, but this doctor was going to kill him in the hospital.
But this doctor was convinced my dad was a closet drinker, and if he only knew that my dad wasn't a drinker, and he was coming up with that conclusion just because of, the cirrhosis of the liver that he had, but it was from the hemochromatosis. So, I think those doctors are out there.
Well, people have problems. I mean, I have a mild liver issue, and I'm not a drinker, except on our cruises, okay? I will say, but that's like once a year, okay? That doesn't, can't, but other than that, this doctor that was on Joy Reid last night should lose his medical license. He should lose his license. Because, who's to say, that this critical race theory could very well make its way into medicine, critical race medicine, the way they're talking.
Correct.
Yeah.
This world doesn't make sense to me.
Well, like in the African American community, Heart disease and heart attacks are one of the leading causes of deaths. Now, I'm not a researcher, I'm not a doctor, but my guess would be a lot of that has to do with the southern food that African Americans are known for, which is I love, right? Fried foods and things like this cause that. And I've never heard of someone saying, well, too much fried chicken, too many Big Macs, too many French fries, no transplant for you, no treatment for you. And they're talking about no treatment. And this guy's talking about denying treatment that's common. Like the monoclonals and things like this. The medications and treatments for COVID are not in short supply. If they are, it's by design of the Biden administration, okay, who's hoarding them for whatever reason. So this is nonsense that we're going through. Well, listen, Rome, Wisconsin, appreciate the call. Yeah. All right, take care. Have a great day. Sorry about your loss, too. Merry Christmas. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Yeah, hi, Brian. Larry, how are you?
All right. How are you, Larry?
Great, thank you. If you listen to Dr. Mengele there, he starts out by saying, we start with vaccine mandates, and then he says, and then from there it gets controversial. So it's really interesting how they start there. That's where their mindset is that, hey, first we force everybody to do what we want them to do. And if we can't get them to do that, then we hold out on them on the medical procedure.
That's correct. Yeah, if they don't... And here's the thing, okay? They believe that people that aren't vaccinated, for the most part, are MAGA people. That is not true. The majority of people that are not getting vaccinated are in the black community, because the Democrats have been brainwashing African Americans with the Tuskegee experiments, and blacks don't want to get vaccinated, okay, because of that. What he's talking about is frightening to me. But they view it as, well, it's going to be MAGA that dies, so they don't care. That's how much they hate MAGA. That's where their mindset is.
And you made a great point. They don't stop in an emergency. They're not stopping and asking you questions about what happened, what you've been doing for the last 30 years. They want to know what caused this to happen, what
Correct.
Medical history might be. They're not wasting their time with,
That's right.
cigarette when you're 20.
That's right. All right, hey, listen, I got to take our last break of the hour. Thanks for the call. Last break of the second hour. We'll be back right after this. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is the number. 888-465-2631.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. This is Brian Craig. I'm in studio with Debbie from I Will Advisors. She has an incredible new service to tell you about called I Will Advocates. Debbie, what is I Will Advocates and how are you helping seniors?
Well, Brian, over the past few years of owning a Medicare insurance agency, we've learned that there's a huge need for Medicare advocacy, that a lot of people don't have a child or a spouse that can assist them with their medical needs, and that's where we step in.
There's a lot of things that seniors need help with. Prescriptions, doctor's appointments, things like this. How do you help them with that?
If you're having a problem at the doctor's office, having problems scheduling an appointment in a timely manner, we can step in. If you're having issues at the pharmacy, having problems refilling a prescription, or feel that you're being mischarged for something, you can contact us and we will step in. Even if you're at the hospital and you feel like you're being neglected, we'll be there for you at a touch of a button, whether it's to call the nurse's station or assist in any other way.
So if someone's in the hospital, they feel they're not getting the care that they need, they haven't seen their doctor, they haven't seen their nurse, they can actually call you and you'll contact the hospital for them?
Absolutely. We act as your family. We'll step up, we'll call the nurse's station and ask for some assistance. If we can't get anything done there, we'll go to the higher levels.
Now, this is a service that you're offering. Now, they do not have to be an existing client of I Will Advisors to take advantage of this, right?
Oh, of course not. No, we're here for any Medicare client. We can assist in any way. We don't need to be your insurance agent. We're just here to help you with your medical needs.
This is an incredible opportunity for those of you who are Medicare recipients. Debbie at I Will Advocates will help you with your prescriptions. You'll set up doctor's appointments for them, including the primary care physician and specialist, right?
Of course. We'll assist in anything, helping you find new doctors.
They'll help you with your medical billing. They'll help you with your insurance billing. If you feel you've been billed wrong by your doctor, they'll step in for that and even help you if you're in the hospital.
Basically, what you're offering is a concierge service to senior citizens.
That's exactly it.
That's amazing. I've never heard of anything like this before. So how much does this cost?
Well, for just $20 a month, you will have the security of knowing that you have an experienced, compassionate advocate just a touch of a button away.
To learn more, call Debbie's office. The number, 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214. Or go online. You can sign up online at iwilladvocates.com. That's iwilladvocates.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
Yeah, Steve Kane. When I say Steve, you know who I'm talking about, right? Steve has that I Will Advocates program that you hear Debbie from I Will Advisors talking about. It's absolutely amazing. Steve was having some issues with his pharmacy, and he just called up Debbie's office, and this I Will Advocates team she has over there took care of everything for him. So no matter where you are, this is no matter where you're listening to me at, not just in Florida, no matter where you are in America, I Will Advocates, give them a call about this. If you're a Medicare recipient, no matter where you are in America, give them a call, 954-753-8080. You overnight listeners, you can call and leave a message. They'll call you back during business hours, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. All right. Biden gave an interview to ABC News. They asked him if he was going to run again. Listen to this.
I want to ask you about something I asked weeks before the election when we sat down. You said you would absolutely serve 8 years.
I can't stand this guy, by the way. This David Muir over on NBC. This guy loves himself. Doesn't even the way he talks. He thinks he's the sexiest man alive.
I want to ask you about something I asked weeks before the election when we sat down. You said you would absolutely serve 8 years if elected. Do you plan to run for re-election?
Yes, but look, I'm a great respecter of fate. Fate has intervened in my life many, many times. If I'm in the health I'm in now, if I'm in good health, then in fact I would run again.
And if that means a rematch against Donald Trump?
You're trying to tempt me now. Sure. Why would I not run against Donald Trump for the nominee? That increased the prospect of running.
Okay, now, yeah. If he's in the health that he's in now, it's not his physical health. Boy, did you hear that train come by? The Trump train came by honking the horn today. Our radio station is by a train track. Usually you want radio stations by a close place. I don't know if you can hear it on the mic or not. But we're on the right side of the tracks. The other side's the wrong side. In fact, no, Boca is so nice where we're located at. Usually where railroad tracks are is not the nicest of neighborhoods. On the other side of these railroad tracks, like not even on the beach side of the railroad tracks, these are like multi-million-dollar homes right here I'm looking at. I can't believe. I mean, that's how expensive the real estate is here. People pay multi-millions of dollars to live 10 feet away from trains. It's very strange. Maybe they're lovers of trains. I don't know. But anyway, Joe Biden, his physical health, which is not spectacular, that's not the problem. It's his mental cognitive ability. And I think he's completely checked out. And it's a very big concern that we have, but it's a very interesting thing that we see going on here. Because they're obviously trying to push him out and skip over Kamala Harris. And it does look like Hillary is the choice. And Hillary is the choice because nobody else wants it. Nobody else wants it. At least not anyone that is electable. And hey, get out your Ready for Hillary shirts, Democrats. I don't mind having a rematch between Trump and Hillary. I have no problem with that. I welcome it. Bring it on, is what I say. Bring it on. The Clintons, I believe, are broke. Now, when rich people are broke, it's not like you're broke or I'm broke, unless you're rich. I'm not rich. I mean, if I'm broke, I'm broke. I got lint in my pockets. If rich people like the Clintons are broke, they're still rich. They just don't have access to as much cash. It's not liquid, you know. But Joe Biden, who ran because they pissed away all their money, the Clintons are busted. That's why Bill Clinton's doing this masterclass. He needs the money. They've blown it. They have a very expensive lifestyle, the Clintons, and they pissed through the money. And they're in desperate need of the money. And that's why she's running, because that's how the Clintons make their money. Just like Joe Biden, being corrupt public officials. The Clinton Foundation there was an article 2 weeks ago, the Clinton Foundation donations, that's like a rhyme, the Clinton Foundation donations are down 99%. Chelsea might have to get a damn job to pay for that $10 million apartment. You know, give me a break. That's what's going on here. And this video, and I don't know if you guys, have you seen the new video of Bill Clinton promoting this masterclass on leadership? It is difficult to watch. He looks so weird. Bill Clinton is a big guy. If you ever met Bill Clinton, you know, I met him when he was president. And he's a big guy with a big body and a big old head. And now he's like Karen Carpenter thin. And he's got a big head still. It's just thin. And he did this masterclass video, and they filled him full of Botox and Juvederm and fillers or something to make him look presentable in this video promoting the masterclass, and they made him look frightening. I mean, it was really bad. I mean, it was hard to watch. It looked scary, Bill Clinton. And he did not look good, and not just physically, he didn't sound good either. And it's desperate for money, desperation for money. All right, our number toll free 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. Is this Janet Cimarelli from AJ's Natural Wellness Shop? Yes.
So that we are getting set for our New Year's Day raffle, New Year's Eve raffle, I should say. We have the most fabulous backpack, and when people come into the store or give the store a call, 954-317-1851, whenever they come into the store or call the store and say they are Steve Kane listeners, they are entered into a New Year's Eve raffle. Incredibly great backpack. All the very special things that you expect, little hidden pockets and zippers and little ways of containing your keys and your phone and your iPad and all that different stuff. That's in the backpack, plus lots of other very special parts to the drawing, but that's all at AJ's Natural Wellness. If you come into the store and you say you are a Steve Kane listener, we have a fabulous, fabulous toothpaste, no fluoride. Very important for people to understand. No fluoride, no sodium lauryl sulfate in this particular toothpaste. It has charcoal. It's flavored beautifully, and you think, I don't want to brush my teeth with charcoal. Well, yes, you might want to reconsider that perspective, because the charcoal is going to act as a natural teeth whitener. It's fantastic, tastes good. It's a $7 value. Come on in, say Steve Kane listener, and we'll give you a full-size charcoal tooth.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, the Festival Marketplace is open on Christmas, and that means AJ's Natural Wellness Shop is open on Christmas. And I'm guessing, are you, Janet Cimarelli, going to be working on Christmas?
special Christmas Day, but I will be there all
Christmas Eve. But AJ's is open on Christmas Day as well? Yeah, and you know, a lot of people on Christmas, you know, maybe you don't celebrate Christmas, maybe the family's away, or maybe it's 11 or 12 in the afternoon and Christmas is over and you're looking for something to do. Head over to AJ's Natural Wellness Shop at the Festival Marketplace. I was talking with one of our sponsors yesterday, and they go to the festival on Christmas almost yearly. They said it's a great day to go over to the Festival Marketplace. So stop on in and say hello. Now, even though Janet won't be there on Christmas, she will be there tomorrow, Christmas Eve, and Janet Cimarelli's radio show will be on the air tomorrow, as it is every Tuesday and Friday on all of our radio stations and iHeartRadio at 10 a.m. And Janet is also a licensed nutrition counselor who's available for free consultations, but they do ask that you make an appointment for those. You can call ahead if you'd like to make that appointment, 954-317-1851. 954-317-1851. And if you can't make it into AJ's in person at the Festival Marketplace, they do ship anywhere. So if you're somewhere in town and you don't drive, or maybe you're out of town and it's too, you know, or even another state, you can call, and they have great prices on all of their natural supplements. All right, Janet, have a great day, and we'll talk tomorrow on Christmas Eve. All right, take care. And by the way, Steve will be joining us in the next hour, by the way, but we'll be here not just tomorrow, Christmas Eve. We will be here live all next week, all the way through New Year's Eve next week. We will be here live all next week. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Back after this.
1470 FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now at Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes, thank goodness.
That's how you scared me.
I usually try to talk to
Yep.
coming down the hall. You said Steve will be joining us next hour.
8:15 in the next hour, yeah. Going into the top of the hour.
The Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Toll-free. Dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1.
All right. Third hour has begun. It's 4 minutes after 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. All right, so January 6th, Nancy Pelosi and CNN and the liberals are ramping up on January 6th. Pelosi is having an event at the Capitol. It hasn't all been detailed yet, but it's going to be like those memorial events. People come up and share their stories of the Capitol breach and what they went through. Members of Congress, and I'm assuming staffers, but probably members of Congress because they love it. CNN has that one. It's never happened before. Greg Kelly on Newsmax pointed out last night, rightly so, that not only is this not the first time there have been incidents at the Capitol, this was not the worst by far, okay, this incident. I looked up online to go through. Now, some of these will jog your memory. You've forgotten about it. But there's been lots of violence at the Capitol over the years, much worse than what happened on January 6th. Okay, listen to this. And you can Google this. This article that I pulled this out of is from History.com, which is the History Channel's website. I figure they're nonpartisan. During the U.S. antebellum period, okay, listen to this. One of the most famous incidents of congressional violence is the caning of Congressman Charles Sumner. In 1856, I take this back. The History Channel is not nonpartisan. They are hardcore liberal Democrat jerks. I'll tell you why in a minute. Because I'm reading this from the History Channel. They're leaving out important pieces of information. Because I know about this stuff. But I'll go back to it. One of the most famous incidents of congressional violence is the caning of Congressman Charles Sumner. In 1856, pro-slavery Representative Preston Brooks beat anti-slavery Senator Charles Sumner nearly unconscious with a cane on the Senate floor. Brooks said he chose to attack Sumner this way because he didn't want to break a law against dueling that was passed a year after a congressman killed another one in a duel in Maryland. What they left out are the political parties, okay? The senator who was caned to death was a Republican. And the senator who attacked him with the cane and almost beat him to death was a Democrat. So that was Democrat on Republican violence, and they left that out. The caning of Sumner was not an isolated incident. There have been more than 70 violent occurrences between congressmen. In 1858, a fistfight broke out between 30 congressmen on the House floor at 2 a.m. when a Southerner grabbed a Northerner by the throat. Now again, that's another Democrat on Republican violence. The Southerner was a Democrat and the Northerner a Republican. In 1860, pro-slavery... instead of saying Republican and Democrat, they say pro-slavery and anti-slavery. Yeah, a fist fight between 20 members of the House of Representatives. Who do you think would win that today, Republican versus Democrat? In 1860, pro-slavery congressman, which means Democrat. In 1860, a Democrat congressman threatened a Republican congressman with pistols and canes while he spoke out against slavery on the House floor. Oh my goodness. Listen to this. Now this is just violence at the Capitol, because they're telling us that January 6th never happened before. And I'm not even counting the Redcoats burning it down in the War of 1812. In addition to duels and physical fights between members of Congress, non-members of Congress have fired weapons and planted bombs on Capitol grounds. On July 2nd, 1915, a former German professor at Harvard. So a Harvard professor, that sounds lib to me. You ever see a Harvard professor who was a conservative? In 1915, a Harvard professor planted a package containing 3 sticks of dynamite in the Capitol near the Senate reception room. The explosive detonated around midnight during a time when the Senate had been in recess. An on-duty Capitol police officer was nearly knocked out of his chair during the blast, but no one was injured. Oh yes, he was a liberal peacenik. He said he planted the explosives to protest U.S. aid to Britain during the First World War. Wow. And then the same guy went and shot J.P. Morgan. March 1st, 1954, 4 Puerto Ricans fired guns in the House of Representatives. By the way, they did this from the House gallery. 4 Puerto Ricans fired guns in the House of Representatives from the gallery, shooting 5 congressmen. The attackers said they acted to demand independence of Puerto Rico. The injured congressmen survived. The 4 shooters received prison sentences. President Carter commuted one of their sentences in 1977 and granted clemency to the other 3 in 1979. So Jimmy Carter let them all out of jail. Just over 20 years after it happened. Listen to this one. March 1st, 1971. Just over a month before I was born. March 1st, 1971. A bomb exploded in the Capitol building. While the explosion did not injure anyone, it caused $300,000 in damage in 1971 dollars. And a group calling itself the Weather Underground claimed responsibility for the bombing in 1971 as part of a protest against the U.S.-supported bombing in Laos. The Weather Underground. Oh. Remember Bill Ayers, who ghost wrote Barack Obama's book, who introduced Barack Obama to politics, whose parents were friends with Hillary Rodham Clinton's parents? Yeah. And Frank Marshall Davis? They set off a bomb in 1971 in the Capitol? There was another bombing in 1983. I did not know about this one. November 7th, 1983, a bomb tore through the second floor of the Senate wing of the Capitol. A group calling itself the Armed Resistance Unit later claimed responsibility for the attack, saying it was in retaliation for military actions in Grenada and Lebanon. They include the Capitol breach here. Let me read what it says. There were 2 Capitol police officers shot in 1998, by the way. Then this is how they describe the Capitol breach. January 6, 2021, hundreds of rioters supporting President Trump pushed through police barricades, stormed the Capitol, smashing windows. One woman was fatally struck by police gunfire, Ashley Babbitt, inside the building during the mayhem. At least 138 officers, 73 from the Capitol Police and 65 from the Metropolitan Police were injured. Okay. Every incident, there are many violent incidents in the Capitol, many violent incidents, sometimes deadly, using bombs, using dynamite, using guns. Every one of those incidents, except one, involved Democrats causing it. Right? The Weather Underground, libs. The Puerto Ricans, libs. The pro-slavery people that started the fist fight and the caning, Democrats. Every one of those incidents were Democrats except the Capitol breach. And notice how the History Channel, I didn't realize this until I went through the article. Every one they give you no political affiliation for any of them except the Capitol breach. They lay it on Trump, which means, MAGA. So this event on January 6th that they're planning, there have been many incidents of deadly violence at the Capitol. All by Democrats. All done by Democrats. In fact, even the person that was killed in the Capitol breach, who was shot, Ashley Babbitt, was killed by a Democrat. The cop was a Democrat. You saw him. Every deadly incident at the Capitol, every person, it was always a Democrat that did it, in every instance. But only this one they're going to look at, and they look at it in a very interesting way, huh? The Democrats have brought nothing good to this country. I can't think of anything. Can you? All right, let's take our break. My name's Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve will be joining us after the break. Our number, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Those of you on hold, stand by. 1-888-465-2631. 1-888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this.
This is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business for 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Steve Kane just had GoPro over at his house to trim his trees. On the line, we have Nathan. He's the owner of GoPro. He's going to tell you what he did over at Steve's house and why you should call him to help you with all of your landscaping needs. Nathan?
So the biggest thing we did over at Steve's house, his trees were all overgrown. You couldn't even see the house, the yard. The grass was starting to die because there was so much shade from the trees being overgrown for such a long time. So we came in, we looked at the trees, did an assessment, pruned them structurally so that way the trees are balanced and even to make sure that there was no possibility of them coming down in the storms. We did 2 royal poinciana trees, one in the front yard and one in the backyard. Also, one of the royal poincianas in the front yard was actually choking out one of the oak trees. So now by trimming them back, the oak tree can come back to life and provide a nice healthy tree for Steve. The reason why you should hire the professionals here at GoPro over the guy with just the truck who's mowing the grass next door is our guys are trained in the different types of trees and identifying how to properly prune the trees so it's structurally healthy, not to over trim them. The thing that we do over the competition is we make sure we do it right. Make the proper cuts on the tree, trim the tree properly so that way the tree can come back healthy. We service anything from residential, single family home all the way up to large HOAs, commercial buildings, whatever the customer has a need for, we can service.
Give Nathan at GoPro a call right now. He'll give you a free estimate. 954-680-7739. 954-680-7739. Make sure you tell him you heard him on the radio. 954-680-7739.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to The Steve Kane Show.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, we are back 19 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. It's The Steve Kane Show. Steve, you with us?
I am with you.
Oh, man, how's it going? You.
The tremendous work that you, Brian, do on this show. As I was listening to you going on about this, you are the, among other things, I realized, the Steve Kane Show historian.
Yes.
You really know all of this stuff, which I, for all my Riverdale Country School education, you know stuff I don't even.
Yeah, Steve went to the same high school as President Kennedy, for those that are wondering what that Riverdale school is. Not at the same time, though. Yeah. That'd have been like 1918.
Living through it.
Yeah.
I was thinking yesterday, you know what the difference is? The Democrats, Biden and the Democrats, they're doing the same stuff they've always done, but the difference is nobody believes them anymore. They have lost all credibility. What they do is their objective every day is to create one positive blip on the news This,
yeah.
To you have something to distract the public with their lies. It doesn't cost anything. This is free. All this stuff, which I roll my eyes, but as my eyes are rolling, so is the eyes of the American public. They don't believe him.
Yeah.
Can't get with all his fancy talking points and lies that he gets up there with. Oh, I love with the boats lined up at in Southern California. They're saying, "Oh, the thing is over." The what do they call it?
The supply chain crisis.
It's all over, and then somebody gets on and tells the truth, and the public knows it.
No, it's you're a day late on the news, Steve. You missed. You obviously did not hear Jen Psaki's press conference yesterday. Let me play this for you because we got to get you up to speed. This is Jen Psaki yesterday. She actually said that Joe Biden saved Christmas. I'm not kidding. This is it. No, I'm serious. They should make a movie about this. Listen, here it is. Jen Psaki yesterday.
Also, just wanted to note the president, of course, just met with a number of business leaders and industry leaders about efforts to address bottlenecks in the supply chain. I think you all saw him give remarks on that as well. But as the New York Times said today, Christmas gifts are arriving on time this year. Good news. We've saved Christmas. And
there you go. We've saved Christmas. Good news. Yeah, it was canceled.
They're trying
Steve
to
Kane
start
Show.
a news.
Hey, Barry. That they saved Christmas?
And that they saved Christmas and all this, and no, it's so the American public is informed for the first time.
Yeah.
There has always been a small percentage of us that paid attention.
If you were making the movie of this, right? We say Biden saved Christmas. What would you like you've got the Grinch that stole Christmas. So what? The POTUS who saved Christmas. What would you name the movie about how Joe Biden saved Christmas 2021? Oh my goodness. There was no Christmas. Now it's the Democrats have been trying to rid us of Christmas for decades. Now all of a sudden they're the saviors of it. It's time to check in with attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning. We're doing great. What do you have for us today, Barry?
Unpredictable. We can't really predict the future. I mean, think about just 2 years ago. 2 years ago in December of 19, did we even know what COVID was? Had we ever heard of coronavirus? And now it's consumed our lives for almost 2 years. And then again, we have a situation where it felt like things were getting much better. It felt like we were turning the corner, and then all of a sudden we have this new strain of Omicron, and now things have changed again. And again, we cannot predict the future, and that's why it's so important to make sure that we plan ahead so that when we have unpredictable futures, we're ready. And that's the point of estate planning, making sure that we're ready in case there's any issues that come up with ourselves, our spouse, where there's incapacity issues or we pass. And we want to make sure that we have all the correct decision makers. We want to make sure that we're leaving everything to the right people in the right way where they're protected, and that we don't leave a mess behind. We don't have to deal with probate or guardianship or any of the other, any court processes. We make things easy for the people we love, and instead of having to predict the future, we're ready for it.
Yeah. And, and Attorney Barry Siegel and the Siegel Law Group, when they put together your estate plan, your revocable living trust, every eventuality that you could imagine and beyond will be taken care of, because you never know what's going to happen. But you know what? The Siegel Law Group, they do, because I think, Barry, you've probably seen it all over there at this point with all the clients you've had over the years. Really? That's for sure. But I'll tell you one thing I've never seen, and that's someone that doesn't want to take advantage of a free consultation. And when you call the Siegel Law Group, if you mention you heard them on the radio, it's a completely free consultation with the Siegel Law Group. The number, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Barry, we'll finish out the week tomorrow. I got a couple clips here I want to play. This is from CNN. Fareed Zakaria, who is the author of he's a host on the weekends on CNN, and he wrote a book which is his fantasy called The Post-American World. You know, because he envisions a world without America. Then where would he be? You know. But anyway, he doesn't understand. He talks about this on the show. I'll play you the audio. He doesn't understand why people don't like Joe Biden. Listen.
Yes, I find Joe Biden's unpopularity puzzling. He's rounding out his first year in the White House with the lowest end of first year approval ratings of any elected president in modern times, with the exception of Donald Trump. Why is this?
What poll is that, by the way? What poll had had Donald Trump lower than Biden at this point?
A likable person. Many of the policies he's pursued have been
Oh wait, he said he's a likable person. Hold on. There you go.
Many of the policies he's pursued have been popular.
What policy has he pursued? Do you know? What policy has he pursued that he's gotten through? I don't know what he's talking about.
Nothing that's worked.
Nothing has gotten through.
And some with Republican support. The country is doing reasonably well economically, as measures like unemployment.
Doing reasonably well? We were doing spectacular under Donald Trump. Reasonably well doesn't just... You know, a lot of our listeners on fixed incomes, inflation's got to be hitting them hard.
Mining the stock market, which is rising, and interest rates demonstrate. So why did the latest CNN average of the polls have him at just 45%? Now, one has to remember that Biden is something of an accidental president. He got elected for two reasons, neither of which has much to do with his personal popularity. First, Barack Obama chose him as vice president, which instantly elevated him in the Democratic field. Second, Donald Trump. Had these two factors not been present, it's difficult to imagine Biden in the White House.
Okay, so he's blaming Donald Trump for his low approval ratings of Biden. He just can't understand it. He's got these. He said Biden's likable. Yeah, really. Go talk to Hunter about that. He hates his father, and no one knows him better than Hunter. Go read Miranda Devine's book and see all the emails and text messages that Hunter sends out. His own son hates him. He's not likable. Oh my goodness. CNN. He is. This guy Fareed Zakaria. That was from the heart. He's delusional. He just doesn't get it. He thinks America's doing well. Whatever. All right, our number 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Now, this other clip I played at the beginning of the last hour, but I wanted to play it to you. This was a doctor on Joy Reid's show last night, Steve, and I wanted to play this and get your thoughts on it. It's Joy Reid, NBC last night.
And then I do think negative incentives, whether it's a vaccine mandate in the workplace or, and this is where it gets controversial, but we need to start talking about this, the bioethics of it broadly, because this is not the last respiratory pandemic we're going to face, Joy. What do we do with somebody who's unvaccinated, who's taking advanced ICU therapies from somebody who is vaccinated in the hospital? How do we rank order that priority? We do it for organs, kidneys, livers, lungs. We say, did you smoke? Did you drink recently? If you did, you're lower on the list, even if you need it. We need to start thinking of that model, have bioethics around it, a framework, because this is not going to be the last respiratory pandemic we face.
Okay, so he's talking about first thing if everyone won't get vaccinated, the next step will be denying life-saving medical treatment to the unvaccinated. And maybe that'll be an incentive. They're talking about denying life-saving treatment to people who don't do what they're told. I've never heard of such a thing before.
It's unbelievable. They're just in another world and they don't realize it. Why they're in trade. He's beyond this thing pointed over.
Yeah, death panel is what it is. Yeah.
Credibility has been damaged so severely, there is no coming back. it doesn't matter what he does because everything they say is such BS, and the American people are now informed. The American people, as a rule, up until in recent history, as a majority of the American people did not really understand what the facts were and stuff like that. Everybody's paying attention now. And of course, the more people pay attention, the worse it is for Joe Biden. And he's again reached that other threshold. He's become an object of ridicule. When you become an object of ridicule, it's too late.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take you seriously?
Yeah. But he did save Christmas.
Yes, that's true.
You know, an illegal Mexican fell off the Trump wall to their death this week. And I saw this story on Breitbart. I haven't seen it reported anywhere but Breitbart. I don't know if any of you have seen it, but you know, they're going to blame Trump for that death. CNN, MSNBC. Once that story makes it to the mainstream, they'll blame Trump for that death. I'm telling you, if we didn't have a wall, the guy'd be alive. But they're not going to blame the Floridian who was murdered in Jacksonville by an illegal, a few weeks back. All right, listen, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Steve is here. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. Back after this.
Brian Craig here. When it comes to auto repair, you want a garage that you can trust. Someone that will only do work on your car when your car needs work. Introducing Champagne Automotive in Boca Raton, the latest sponsor of the Steve Kane Radio Show. Tom called in on the radio to tell us about his experience with Champagne Automotive.
Hi, this is Tom from Tamarack.
Hey, Tom from Tamarack, what's up?
I just want to tell you guys something. I spent the last 2 days trying to get brakes for my car. I was leaving the house yesterday to go try another place that had a lower price. They wanted $800 for the brakes. And that advertisement came on for Champagne. I live in Western Tamarack. I said, let me take a drive up there. Well, I was almost blown over how friendly, honest, old school these people are.
Old school, that's really the term that really describes it.
But let me tell you, the guy I had gone to previously won $800. He said, well, you need to change your power steering fluid. And Ed, the owner, put the car up in the lift, pulled the wheels, because you don't need brakes. And I about fell over.
Wow. Well, tell me the end of the story. You got me hooked.
So it wasn't that your vehicle was misdiagnosed at the other place. You were dealing with a crook.
Oh, absolutely. This guy wanted to sell me everything but a washing machine. I don't want that.
Now, this is our new sponsor. We have wanted for a long time to have an auto repair shop. When it comes to auto repair, that is the most difficult category for us to find as an advertiser because most are like this guy you were dealing with the other day over in Tamarack. They're crooks. And we found Champagne Automotive. Ed, who's the owner, is a listener of the program. They come very, very highly recommended. So I appreciate you calling in and telling us the good story. Now, Champagne Automotive, they're in Boca off Spanish River Boulevard, immediately west of Dixie Highway. The number is 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve here, 34 minutes after the hour. I just was reading a story during the break. Biden saved Christmas, and then he gave the greatest Christmas gift of all to thousands of criminals. Thousands of federal inmates have been released due to an executive order signed by Joe Biden over COVID concerns. So they won't get COVID. Now they can go out on the streets and do crime again. Thousands. There's not an exact number, but they're using thousands, plural, released from federal custody by Biden executive. Oh, I got that. 5,000. 5,000 released. They promised they're going to stay home under home confinement, though. So that makes it okay. Over COVID concerns, I can think of no better way to isolate people than in a jail cell in the prison, right? So I don't understand. Why is it such a problem in prison if you're in a cell? It doesn't make sense to me. Oh.
You're, as a Steve Kane Show historian.
I think Steve. I don't think you liked me going over those Democrat incidents of violence at the Capitol because you keep referencing it. I think you're being sarcastic. I don't know. No. Yeah.
Is that at last, better late than never, the American people are paying attention. The American people have become informed. It's kind of hard not to be informed when with the media being as saturated with, and the worst thing for Biden is the efforts they make to, with talking points.
Wesley, $5 super chat. Thank you. Everyone thank Wesley.
And the
Plugs,
American people are too educated now.
Too informed. Yeah. Yeah, it's falling apart for him.
And I would like to feel that we here on the staff of the Steve Kane Show, I'd like to play a small part in this.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a disaster. Well, you know, the way that things are going now, he's in big trouble. I mean, he's in big trouble because where he's in big trouble is where you don't see it so much on TV. It's after the first of the year, especially after January, right? When February starts, that's when February 1st is the beginning of the midterm election cycle. And the donors are pissed off at him and Pelosi for not coming through on that Build Back Better. And I was telling you the other day, Steve, 23, you got that noise you're making, I can hear, Steve. 23 House Democrats are retiring. They're not running. Do you know that's about 10%? About 10% of the Democrats in Pelosi's House of Representatives are not running for re-election. They're retiring because they're going to lose. 10%. That means, you know, that's crazy number. That's a crazy number, and they're not running because they have internal polls that are worse than what we're seeing in the news. We're seeing CNN push polls that are not nearly as bad as things really are. And 10% of the Democrats in the House are retiring, and some of these are young people. It's a fake poll and the results of the poll are to drive public opinion in a certain direction. Is what a push poll is, to push you in a direction. It can be a candidate, it can be an issue. And the real scientific polls on the election we never see. The campaigns see them, the parties see them, the media see them, but never run with them. And 10% of Nancy Pelosi's Democrats are retiring. People don't walk away from those jobs. They don't walk away from them, but they want to retire a winner as opposed to going down in defeat because maybe they can salvage some fake job. You know, if they're not a loser. Once you lose, everybody deletes your number from their phones and everything. You can't get anybody on the phone anymore. So they're retiring to try to set up like a job when they get out of Congress. And some of these I've seen on TV are really young people. I've never seen anything like it. It's a mass exodus. A mass exodus. All right, our number 1-888 go Kane 1-888-465 2631, 888-465-2631. Biden said he's running again yesterday at ABC, and especially if Trump runs.
Another one of those ridiculous talking points that nobody believes.
No, he said he said that.
To tell you the truth, the way I perceive it, what's going on, I don't see how he makes it.
Well, what he said, though, what he said was very interesting. Because let me play this. I played this earlier, but I didn't really go through this part. He gave himself an out. Listen.
I want to ask you about something I asked weeks before the election when we sat down. You said you would absolutely serve 8 years if elected. Do you plan to run for re-election?
Yes. But look, I'm a great respecter of fate. Fate has intervened in my life many, many times. If I'm in the health I'm in now, if I'm in good health, then in fact, I'll run.
If I'm in good health. So he's given himself the health card. If I'm in good health, I'll run. say that you
That's the scary part.
yeah.
He's doing the best he can. If that's,
You can't. You said slow down. You said that he did more than Trump. Give us one thing that Biden did that was good for the country.
He gave us stimulus check. Trump didn't do it.
No, Trump. What stimulus check? Trump did. You did get stimulus under Trump. That's not true. Something that actually happened.
You people are full of it.
Yeah. Oh, he hung up. He hung up. He could have been a contender too. He hung up. Yeah. Oh my goodness. But he listens every night, Steve, to the overnight. He hates the show. He doesn't approve of what we do, but he listens every night. I thought you said he can't get it up. Oh, he can't get it. Well, because I was going to tell him he could call Dr. Mitch Matez at the biostation. Yeah. Well, that's what Dr. Mitch Matez at the biostation could help him out with, if he's got that problem. All right, listen. That is so awesome, that call. We don't talk about the, yeah.
poll is a microcosm of what's going on today. Right there. You don't never say anything good about Biden. Okay, give us a couple of points.
Yeah.
Point.
Yeah.
One thing Biden's accomplished, his supporters can't point to.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry to laugh. I mean, I can't help it, but I mean,
The other thing is, but the Kamala problem is complicating everything. Because under ordinary circumstances, they could ease him out. But they can't ease him out because
Willie Brown's girlfriend.
this is worse.
Willie Brown's girlfriend.
Yeah.
All right, listen, we're going to take our break. Oh my goodness, I almost feel bad for that guy. All right, we'll be back though right after this. Don't go anywhere.
It's Dr. Matez here, now with the Biostation West Delray. At Biostation West Delray, we continue to offer the highest level of experience and care you can find in the realm of hormone pellet and hormone replacement therapies. But that's just the start. We offer a full array of age management modalities, including state-of-the-art treatments for erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction in women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete array of all cosmetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc. Better energy, better sleep, better performance, and looks to die for. If this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, and now it is time for the most listened to part of the Steve Kane Show, the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. From the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca, we have on the line William Youngerman. William Youngerman, good morning.
Good morning, Brian.
Good. How the metals looking?
Metal's looking very good.
Now notice, guys, I had buffering and it went right away. Did you notice that? See? I figured out the issue when that happens. How to... Jacqueline said you're full of it, liar. What did I miss? Who's lying? Yeah, got right rid of it. Wow. Well, we were talking just yesterday, and we every time of this year we talk about it. All the jewelry that you have, and the watches that are at incredible prices at pretty much the metals price. And I came in yesterday and I took a look at the jewelry that you have over at William Youngerman's in Boca, and I was blown away, William Youngerman. Can you tell people? I was blown away by how much you have and the quality of it, and what was really shocking were the prices. I couldn't believe. Can you tell people about some of the jewelry and watches that make great Christmas gifts that you have over there?
Earrings, bracelets, necklaces, diamonds, rings, and we also have a large inventory of beautiful sterling silver, which, when you put that on the scale, doesn't amount to much money, but it's a fraction of what you would pay in any jewelry store. So we've got it all, and it's all available pretty at the weight of the metal. Guys come in and they'll say, well, I want to spend X number of dollars. They pick out something that they think is all that much, and then they end up getting 2-3 more gifts for their wives.
Yeah, and one thing I thought was amazing is you also have a lot of men's jewelry too, for men that'll just blow your socks off. But the jewelry that's over there, this is jewelry that not only does your money go a long way because of the prices. A lot of you men and women out there, there's a lot of jewelry out there that you would think you would never be able to afford, but the prices are so good over there, it'll blow away. In fact, when I was over there was a gentleman came in doing some Christmas shopping, and his eyes lit up when you showed him what he could get for the money he wanted to spend for his wife. He's going to have a very happy wife Christmas. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, people that want to do business with you, buy the gold, buy the silver, buy the metals, and also jewelry, watches, and everything that are from out of town. Can you tell people how that works and how they can do business with you if they can't make it in person?
Certainly. We've been shipping rare coins and precious metals all over the world for over 50 years now, and all you have to do is give us a call, lock in the price on the metal, and place your order over the phone, send us a wire or overnight us a check, and it goes out.
And absolutely. Let me give you the number. They open up at 10. Now, today, normal business hours. What about Christmas Eve? What are your hours? Okay, so call early if you call Christmas Eve. 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. WilliamYoungerman.com on the web, and the address 150 East Palmetto Park Road, right here in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow. Hey, Steve, real quick, before we get back to the calls, have you looked at the jewelry at William Youngerman's? Have you ever had him show it to you? That's.
I mean, God, William's been with us over 10 years.
Longer. And when I tell you that you can get not just the prices, but you can get things that you may not be able to normally even imagine affording, and that goes for the watches too, including Rolex and all those other big names. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call. You sound much better. You've been under the weather. You sound much better today. You still sick, Steve?
This morning, for the first time, I see a light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, good.
A little better.
And it's not COVID he has, people, all right? Every time somebody's sick, it's COVID. All right. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the radio. What's your name?
This is Chaplain Jethro from Plant.
Oh, hey, Chaplain Jethro. How are you?
Good. And very much love the program.
Well, welcome. Well, you're on the air. What do you have for us today, Chaplain?
Well, the guy that called a little bit ago that didn't have an answer for what Biden has done since he's been in office needs to get brushed up on his information, because unless he's in Siberia, this man doesn't have any clue what this man has done since he's been in office. He's done nothing but raise prices.
Vladik, $5 super chat. Everyone thinks like, well, you know, that caller, he said he was attacking us because we never have anything good to say about Biden. And when his strongest supporter can't think of one accomplishment of his, that tells you, where Democrats' minds are at. They're in outer space. They're in outer space. And how we could listen to this program every day and still be a Democrat, I don't get it. I really don't. I really don't. And he hung up on us. We did not hang up on him. And the reason he hung up is he was about to wake up from that coma, that liberal coma he's in. And he was starting to realize, well, wait a minute, Biden hasn't done anything good. I can't think of anything good the Democrats have done. So that's why he hung up.
They want to call it a challenge or an offer. If you're a Joe Biden fan, we are begging you to call in. You will go to the front of the line. Just give one thing he's done.
That's good. That's positive. And it can't be. You can't use Trump as the example. It's got to be something Biden has done on his own while in office. I can think of one thing, Steve. He saved Christmas. It was just announced yesterday. Again, except one person. You're the only person that has not done the check-in yet, Steve. Everybody else in our group has. So you got to check in online. It'll save you a lot. Yeah, it'll save you a lot of time when you get to the port. And I'm not joking. Everybody else has, but you, okay? So you got to do that today. It'll save you a lot of time at the port. But those of you that are joining us on our cruise next month, it's going to be a great time. Ian and I spent hours on the phone this week going over and firming up our activities and things we're going to be doing on the ship. If you've not talked to Ian lately, give him a call and he'll update you on the latest updates and everything, including our sail away party on the bow of the ship on the helicopter pad, which is a private event that we're having when we leave port in Fort Lauderdale on Friday. And I'll give you Ian's number real quick, but make sure you check in with him if you've not for a while. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. We're out of time, Steve. You want to sign us off?
That does it for today. We will be back to do it all over again tomorrow, starting at 6 a.m. On behalf of our director, Tyler Kane, my partner, Brian Craig, I am yours truly, Steve Kane. Till tomorrow, God bless America.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers.
Hey guys, thanks for watching, everyone. I uploaded a new podcast last night. Make sure you check it out. I got to run, but before you go, please like the video. And Dion, thanks for that super chat I just saw. Everyone, thank Dion, and I'll see you soon, all right? Thanks for watching.